This is the start of Diamond 3. Diamond 3 Zerg versus a Protoss. Guys, this is the first time we're going to actually micro. A little bit. We're going to micro a little bit. And we're gonna actually start reacting a little bit more now. I'll do multiple builds through this series. I'm not gonna do just one now, so you guys can pick and choose what builds you like, because these leagues are also really huge. So yeah, there's a lot of shit. Move the face. Oh yeah, good call. Thank you for letting me know. I forgot. Here we go. Boom. We're good. Thanks, dude. Game sounds. I haven't had game sounds on this entire time. Holy shit. You guys, I had music, beautiful StarCraft music playing that whole time we were making build orders, guys. You were listening to silence. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so bad. I'm a bad streamer. Sorry, guys. If you guys don't know what we just did, there's a probe there. Fuck it. Let's go take my third. The first game, we're gonna go for a gasless build. I'll show you guys a gasless build. Probe's still sitting there. That's fine. We're gonna go for a. We went for a 7. It was supposed to be a 17 hatch, 18 pool, and we'll send a drone down to my natural at 19, so we can try and get this probe out of the way. Get out of the way! God! He's on hold position. Alright. So you guys might be thinking, ViBE, oh god, this is crazy! Let's make our lives a little easier. We'll wait for just a second. Is he gonna cancel this pylon? We're out of range of him seeing it. Of my drone, that is. It's a negative on the canceling of the pylon. Let's go take this base then. We're still making drones, guys. And now we're max supply here. Let's go ahead and make an overlord. Again, this is a gasless build. It's a gasless build. And now my natural's done. Let's grab excess drone count. And so this is really my third base, but it's kind of like my natural. Let's send it over. Now look at this guy. He's chrono boosting a gateway. He has a natural himself, but he's chrono boosting the gate.
Zerg bitches.
Yo, icky poo. Zerg bitches! Thank you, dude. Much appreciated. This is something, and there's a second gateway going down now. This is something I would recommend you do all the time. Once we have a little bit of a drones on our second base, we're making lings now. We're gonna make lings up to probably like 12, and then we're good. Okay, just to be safe side, just to be on the safe side, we can make 12 lings. Now, with your queens, what I want you guys to do is I want you actually, if your base gets fucked up like this and it's all distorted, and we also scouted he's chrono boosting a gateway, we're going double creep. Double creep first. This is going to severely or drastically help our lings deal with these adepts. Now we're not going to do a super fancy drone micro here, but we are obviously auto attacking the adept. Meanwhile, we're still making drones, and we're spreading our creep. Now we can inject our hatcheries. And now after we inject our... Oh, there's another dude. Let's go ahead and take our gases. Our gases are going down at 330 right now. Lings, kill the adepts. Let's go ahead and re-rally my hatcheries all to their own bases. Thank you guys for the bits, by the way. Lonimas, Scyphobia. I appreciate it. Thank you. Keep spreading my creep. My headset's dying again. I don't know what the deal is here. Now at 4 minutes, let's take our Roach Warren. Roach Warren. What do we see? We see a couple of gates and we see a shield battery. Not much. We're still making overlords. We're still making everything. Look, adepts. Let's attack towards the shade. Okay, he didn't go. Let's attack towards the adept now. This is why you make a lot of lings like I did, because it is enough to kind of make it hard for the adepts to overpower my stuff. 12 lings are amazing, right? Now let's make a layer. And now that we're at a really high drone count, as you can see. What's this? Oh, it's a phoenix. So now he's showed us he's got a Stargate. So we'll react to it by going for spores on every base. We're still making drones, guys. But now, right around 5 minutes, let's go ahead and stop droning for a second here, and let's make some roaches.
Oh, yeah.
Also, right now, we want to go like this. Let's send over a Ling and go scout. 1 to each of his potential third bases, okay? We're upgrading our scouting potentials a little bit here. We can add some more gases. We're going to make roaches up to 8. We have 2 already done, and we have 6 eggs in production. Go back to drones now. Yo, Joshua G Gamer, thank you very much, dude, for the Sabarino. Much appreciated, my dude. Keep spreading that creep, guys. This build needs creep spread. It thrives on the creep spread. Go ahead and saturate my gases properly, and we'll get excess drones to a different base that's more valuable. Like that. So main's looking pretty good. This base is looking perfect. We're overall looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and attack towards the shades again. Okay, you canceled it. Here's what we can do, okay? Watch. Make drones during this, because he's throwing this army away. If he shades, it's green box half my army right now. If he shades, we follow it with half. If he doesn't shade, we just A-move it. Okay, he's not shading, so who cares? Make drones. Grab some drones and finish saturating my natural again, because we just lost some. Make some overlords. But now we have layer. Let's get a roach speed upgrade. Let's get a hydrogen. Let's get a Evo chamber. Just 1 Evo chamber nowadays. This time. 1 Evo chamber, guys. Because we're getting to a point where we're going to be a little bit more efficient now. And carapace upgrades in this situation are fucking pointless against Protoss. Just going to throw it out there. Spread our creep. Take our gases here. And we're looking really good on the drone count. Let's start our 4th base now. Let's start our 4th. And let's finish off our saturation of our bases. And now, let's start making hydras as well. And upgrades, like weapon upgrade, the missile upgrade, the hydra range upgrade, and the roach speed upgrade. You can also get an overseer. Keep making hydras. And now, when we start making hydras, let's also get metabolic boost. And last thing we can do is, behind metabolic boost, let's go ahead and get a baneling nest. And replace the drone we just used. Keep making hydras. Keep spreading my creep. Keep making hydras. Keep making overlords. Keep spreading that creep. Keep injecting. Try to stay on top of your mechanics. Notice how this dude's still on 2 bases. Let's actually grab another overlord and an overseer and send our current one over to his base. Okay, he's gone for a lot of Phoenix. So, we made a lot of hydras. Let's go ahead and just attack towards them. And now that he's committed to Phoenix and he showed us that, let's do this. Rally every hatchery to my new base and just make mass drones. And let's go ahead and add in like 2 spores extra per my existing bases. And we'll add in like 3 spores to my new base. And now we're still making drones. Because here's what's happening. He's throwing away army to kill drones. So if we just make drones, we're good to go, guys. Like, we're totally fine. He's not doing anything to my army. He's only killing my workers. And we're still, look at my drone count. We're at 72 still. We're just making drones the whole time still. We're going to actually saturate 4 bases now. No more of this. We stopped drones at 74 shit anymore. It's over. That's gone. That's no longer relevant. We're a Zerg, boys, and we're diamond. We're going places now. We're ramping it up. Fully saturate every base, all 4 bases, because this guy committed to a tech bath that can't punish me at all. Like, it literally can't do anything to me anymore. So we're missing 1 drone on this base, and then we're done. And we have 3 spores at every base if he comes back and does it again. Now we can start missile weapons level 2. And now we can go back into hydras. Let's make hydras up until about 180 supply. Keep making creep. He's still in 2, or no, he's probably taking a 3rd now. Do you see the drone count when you hover over supply or what? Yeah, you do. Look at the top right. See how it says the drone and 84 next to it? Now we can do it again. Fix any drone count that starts dying, but look how he's trading Phoenix away, guys. He's killing drones again. But he's losing so many Phoenix in the process. Let's go ahead and make 8 drones right now for this base. And we can run our Overlords over a group of spores. Make some Overlords again, so we can fix this from being a serious problem. Got for 2 more drones, 3, 4 more drones. Okay, let's just keep making Hydras. Now, let's take another base. We don't have to saturate it, but we are guaranteed ahead of him in economy. Because he went for a tech path that can't really punish me for being greedy. And I was really greedy. Keep making Hydras. But he does keep killing my queens though, which is like fucking my macro up. So if you get to a point where you're like, this is a lot of money, man. This is hard to spend. Get a macro hatch. It's all good. Just make a macro hatch. And now we're at 180 supply. We're actually going to go push out now, and we're going to see what we can do. We're going to poke him. We're going to poke his ass, okay? Poke it. And behind this, we're going to start making lings, and we're also going to start a hive, and we're going to start a spire. What does he got? He's got Sentry Immortal. Okay, so rather than trying to put this game in a weird situation where it's like we have to micro like the biggest god ever, how about we do this? Keep starting my creep for a second here, and we'll wait just for a second, just for a sec, for my new units I'm making, which are at 180 supply, which are Zerglings. I can keep injecting during the meantime. Transfer my excess drones over to a new base. We can actually build a couple of spores at extra saturation bases. But we have a lot of lings now. Now let's take these lings and let's make Banes. Baneling speed's done. We're going to, and now we can also start a melee upgrade on our Evo. Start going into melee. So now we're going to do a Baneling timing on this guy. And now here's what we can do. Make it really simple. Grab half my army. Like try to split it evenly with the composition. Grab half my army. Go this way. Grab half my army. Go this way. Okay, he's pushing this way, so let's back up and let's do it again now. We'll send half my army this way, and we'll grab the other half and have it here. Grab this army. Go up. This army, back it up just a tad. This army, we can move it forward. We're just waiting. Now, hey, move him with both my armies. That's enough. We just split microed his ass. Now we can remake up to 180 supply again of Hydra and max out on Lings and do it again. So we went for a composition that excels with Swarm. And we did it with a gasless opener. Gasless opener, the priority here, what the biggest thing that to take out from all of this. The biggest thing to take from all of this, okay? is the beginning. This guy went for a chrono boosted gateway, and he also blocked my natural with a pylon. So if he does that to me, and I want to go for gasless, I don't always creep spread like I did, but I creep spread the first 2 queens, made 2 tumors right away. And you know what that really did? Number 1, it expedited my creep spread across the map, as we can see. It's huge. This is huge creep spread. But the bigger thing it did was it allowed my slow Zerglings to fucking make Adepts not really a problem anymore. Because my slow Lings could actually get on top of the Adepts over and over, and I can't just get kited if he's fighting me on creep, which he'll most likely will be if I have creep spread already, like really early. I don't always do that. I would not have done that like that if I had a normal natural, and we'll go over this more and as more games happen. There's gonna be a ton of games that are gonna happen. What's APM at? We played it at 195 that game. But obviously we'll go over more stuff as more games happen, but that's the big thing about this game that I would say is huge. If we get blocked and the Protoss tries to split our bases up, we still go 3 base, but we just worry about creep more than anything in the beginning. And then it allows us to have this sick, nasty timing because we macroed really well. Just look at the supply here when the timing happens. This is diamond. But we altered our build a little bit. First thing is we went greedy with Lings without speed because we went gasless, and the second thing was he went mass Phoenix, guys. And how did we react to it? we made drones. We had enough units to deal with the Phoenix, and then we just made drones. It's all about, a lot of this stuff we're going to go over is all about learning how to react to your opponent. And one of the biggest rules of StarCraft, if you want to be good at the game, is identifying what your opponent's army is, what its job is. If you look at your opponent's army and go, that army is going to kill me, or you say, that army is going to kill my workers, that's two real ways most players will play. They'll either try to kill you altogether, or they'll try to kill your economy. And if they're the kind of player that tries to kill your economy, make enough that will actually stop what they're doing in relatively quick terms. But don't overmake. Just replace drones as it happens. And you can mitigate your losses so fast. Like if my opponent has 10 Phoenix, I don't need to make like 50 Hydras. I can make like 10 Hydras with spores. And he's probably not going to try and pick up all my Hydras all day. He's probably going to try and pick up my drones as much as possible and kill my queens and screw up my macro. So if I just fight with like a couple spores here and there, with a few Hydras, like equal number Hydra to Phoenix, which is like 10 to 10, it's not that expensive. And I can be like, oh, you just lifted up like 8 drones? Well, I just made like 12 more. So I'm actually fine. Like it didn't actually hurt me that much at all. And now he invested into a Phoenix that's now stuck in this, he's stuck in this tech path of Phoenix that is not actually slowing me down. And the Phoenix can't really accomplish much anymore from that point. They're just there. Alright, anyways, this game, it's a new game. Well, stop talking about this game. I'm gonna do a gas opener this game. We'll do a actual speedling opener. Unless this guy cannon rushes me. If he cannon rushes me, it's gonna be different. Okay, it's probe. I saw the probe run away, but the probe did run behind here, so I just wanted to see if there was a pylon. Alright, so we'll go gas. Cool. Oh man, speedling. This is basically gym now. Our builds, I'm going to do a lot of different builds now that we're in Diamond, because there's going to be a lot of variety for you guys to choose from as to what you like. But again, this is all about game sense now. A lot of this is like we're continuing the macro we've developed throughout all the previous leagues. And we're getting more game sense now. We're getting more scouting game sense, overall understanding of the game. And how to actually fight with units. How to do things. Alright, so we're going to mine gas until we have 100, and then I'm going to rip a couple drones off the gas mine, because we're not going to go mass all in here. We're just going to get speed for safety. Hatchery's finished. When the pool's done, make double queen. Keep making lings for now, or sorry, keep making drones for now, and now let's rip 2 drones off gas. And we'll start a metabolic boost. Still making drones, guys. Let's go ahead and take our 3rd base. We see a natural from this Protoss. So we 100% already know now we're not really under any type of pressure. That's really scary. Yet. Keep making drones. We can start a 3rd queen now out of our natural. And he's got a really fast Twilight Council. And notice how we don't give a shit, we're just scouting his main. This could be really fast DTs, or it could be an upgrade out of the Council. We're still making drones. Unless, there's got also a lot of probes sitting there. Let's play this really safe as well. We'll go for a more solid style here, instead of a weird aggressive style. We'll go for defensive roaches. And now we're fully saturated on our natural. We're going to make a round of Zerglings. We're going to make like 12 lings. That's it. Just like 12.
Metamorphosis complete.
Make another queen at my natural. Now we can start a gas at my natural because we're fully saturated on it. And we'll resaturate the rest of my main gas, and we'll now fully saturate the natural gas. Alright, so now about like there's, again, what did we say a second ago? We said the potential of DTs is here. So, let's go ahead and play it safe. Let's go ahead and we can kind of poke his base with our lings really fast. And at 420, which is like right now, let's throw down a spore crawler in every mineral line. Because this might be DTs. And behind this, let's make like 5 or 6 roaches. We'll make 6 roaches. And now, let's make drones. Because if he shows up with DTs, 6 roaches can beat DTs. Like 3 or 4 DTs. Now we're attacking his mineral line with our speedlings that we just made. After we fully saturated our natural. And we're doing some damage here. We're doing a lot of damage, actually. We're still making drones behind this, by the way. Notice how he's not really defending. This is making me really think there's probably DTs coming. So let's add in a spine to every base now. And let's also start a layer. And now that we have our third base is starting to be saturated, like we'll wait until it's about like halfway done, and we'll start a third gas. Our lings all died. That's totally fine. Let's start a third gas now. Keep injecting, inject, inject, and keep creep spreading. But something tech related is happening because this guy defended with like 2 units. Like that's not normal. So we're reacting to this. We're going, okay, he's got nothing. What could it be? We're gonna fully saturate the third mineral line only with off of 3 gases. Because I am expecting a tech type timing to happen. Let's make roaches again. Off of a good healthy economy. And we'll keep creep spreading. Now we can start roach speed. We can start a overseer. Let's actually start 2 overseers. That way we can have one of them go scout his base just to like give me a confirmation here as to what's happening. We can drop a couple of changelings as well. And here's what we'll do with the changelings. 1 changeling runs on the left side of the map. 1 changeling runs on the right side of the map. And we're gonna go see if this guy is somehow also maybe hiding bases or doing something really weird. For the meantime though, we're gonna make 1 more round of roaches just to be a little safe. And we're going to keep creep spreading. Whenever we can. Look, holy shit, we just found an all-in. His build looks weird, so we're playing safe. It's definitely not normal. Normal would be a lot more immediate defense at his base. And not such a fast Templar archives really, really, really quick like that. So now after we're seeing the what looks like an all-in, let's go ahead and prepare for it. Let's send some roaches back to defend that and leave the rest like right here. We can put them in a little tight choke point against zealots like this and A-move it. And these roaches will help this spine. Keep making roaches in the meantime. And we just defended his whole timing. Now we can go kill that pylon. And we could replace spine here that died. And now that we just defended a timing, now we're safe to drone and go, okay, fully saturated. 1 drone here. Make some new drones for it. And he's attacking this. So he has 2 pylons, obviously. Because that's now another round of zealots. We'll remake the queen and we'll make a round of drones to fully saturate. He's doing the same thing again, where he's like he's trying to go for drone killing. Keep making drones, guys. To replace all of this that dies. So now let's go to the left side of the map. And let's go ahead and throw into a spine with this queen. Let's go ahead and kill this pylon over here that most likely exists on this side as well. Okay. There it is. It's 2 prisms. Okay. He's going all in. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to take another base. Keep making roaches. I can run my drones away just for a sec. And here's what we'll do. We'll send all my roaches into my main and we'll leave some at my third right now. This guy's trying to like 2-prong me all day here. Now I can send my drones back to my main after we just clean that up. And now let's go ahead and start going into upgrades. And we can make a baling nest. And look, he's just throwing units away now on both sides. We'll worry really hard about saturating my bases fully. Because every time he fights me, he might kill something here and there, but he's losing his army over and over and over. His army is not just maintaining, he's losing it again and again because he keeps throwing it away to try and kill workers. So here's a good way as well. A good tip, okay? If your Protoss opponent never, ever, 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 ever stops attacking you, let's go ahead and do this. Add in 3 extra spines per base now. And watch what we're also gonna do. It's gonna make my life really fucking easy. We're gonna get ranged weapons for now. We're getting Baneling speed still, and we're eventually gonna use that. I didn't mean to make that one. We'll eventually use that, but for now, it's not being used yet. And now let's go to my this base over here, and let's add in same thing: 3 spines, or 4 spines and a spore. Look, he's still doing it. He's still trying to attack me. It just doesn't end. We're gonna make 4 lurkers. Okay, 4 lurkers, or 4 hydras, which are going to become lurkers for now. We can send like a couple of roaches out to go scout the map again, like I wanted to earlier, just to see how many bases this guy is trying to take right now, because he is keeping us defensive. But I don't mind, because we're defensively in a good spot here. With how many units this dude's throwing away, let's go ahead and ramp up my drones again too. How's that sound? Because look what he keeps doing. This keeps happening. He keeps trying to run zealots into me. So we keep creep spreading, and yeah, we'll drone our base over here. We can send some roaches over to my my 4th now, because this is now a new base. And now we have lurkers. Let's make 4 of them into lurkers. And we'll transfer all my excess drones now to my other base. Look, he's doing it again. He just can't help himself, dude. It's over and over and over. So here's the plan. 1 lurker, go to my main burrow. 1 lurker, burrow my my natural. 1 lurker, burrow at my 3rd. 1 lurker, burrow at my 4th. This is going to fuck him over really bad with little zealot run-bys all day. Now we can max with our the rest of our supply here, and we can get ready to go into a hive. And now let's go attack him with what we currently have. Let's go break his 3rd. And he's going to attack me, guaranteed. He's going to counter me again, the way he's been playing this game. It's a tendency he seems to like to have a lot. I imagine warpins are going to happen here in just a moment. And now that we're kind of rich, we can actually even inflate our spine count even more on every base. And then we just spent 8 drones on spines. Let's make 8 drones again to replace that. And here we go. This is the kind of player we're dealing with. Let's move our roaches in to attack his base really well. And now just watch the defense of lurker and spine. Okay, he had a High Templar zap a couple of drones there. Cool. And we held it easy peasy. Now we can attack into his main. He's doing it again. Go lurker spine, own it up. So he's a counterattack Protoss. This guy is all about trying to just break me down. So now his base is absolutely dead, and there's nothing he can do about my base. And we can make whatever we want now. We can make more. Okay, he's got storm. So let's go ahead and do this. Just back up for a second. And let's send in a couple units. We'll make it really easy for ourselves. Stutter forward. Stutter forward. Stutter forward. I'm not even focus firing with Templar. Stutter forward. He's still got Templar. Do it again. Same thing. Grab some units. Stutter forward. Stutter forward. Stutter forward. He's out of storm. Now we attack with everything. Easy peasy micro. Look, he's still losing shit to this. They can actually move into his base. A lot of my units attack for a second. Move into his base even more. This is the biggest SimCity blocker ever. So this guy was all about counter. And we did something. We read what he was doing, and we went, oh, let's just make our lives easier and just prepare for every fucking counter in every base. APM wise, we had 150 that game. And resources lost. We were way more efficient than he was. Did you purposely focus less on creep spread that game? Well, the reason why is because number 1, we're getting attacked really hard. Okay, we're getting attacked by a guy who has double warp prism zealot warpins all day, going warpins. He's trying to multi-prong the shit out of us. He's just keeping us busy defending our base. And on top of that, if you're comparing this creep spread to last game, Last game was a gasless build where we have more queens faster. And because this build kind of, you don't like make multiple queens, like you don't go up to 4 queens as fast with this build as you do with the build where you go 3 base hatchery really quick. And also the other game was we were getting attacked by adepts with our hatcheries really spread out. So having faster creep, it was more appropriate for that situation rather than having faster larva, because we needed to be able to defend multiple bases anyways. The point is if we're not, here's the, I guess the best way to explain it. If we're not mining a gas, we can afford to do things like take faster queens and more of them. And if we take more queens faster, we can afford to have better creep spread. So it's not really comparable. A gasless build's creep to a gas opener creep. The gasless build's always going to have better creep because you just have more queens. That's just how it works. There's something green in here. Yeah, it's hair dye. It keeps fading more and more to darker, or more like a turquoisey green color. There was no green hair dye initially, but the colors I had were yellow, red, blue, pink, and purple. Because I specifically avoided green to avoid chroma key issues with the green screen. But it's fading to green anyways. The colors like bled together a little bit, and now it's going turquoisey. So it's becoming a little bit of an issue with the green screen. Cause yeah, like when you can see like right there, my hair is very very similar color to my backdrop on my wall at this point. Same with my beard. You can see it there a little bit too. I can't avoid it. The only way to avoid it is to not use a green screen. Whereas the pink, that's what I mean. It like kind of the red, blue, and purple, and pink. It all kind of bled out. The only one that really stuck was the yellow. You can see the yellow really hard. The other ones kind of bled together. Alright, this is Protoss again. Alright, this game we'll do gasless again. And then or no, you know what, this game we'll do an all-in. I'll show you guys an all-in this game. Cuz we can micro now. I'll show you guys an all-in. Well, there we go. Now we're in Diamond 3. $18 gas, 17 pool. When did this turn into a micro stream? When we hit Diamond League, because I think Diamond players can actually handle microing a bit more, while not mixing up their macro too much. Mom, get the camera, it's ViBE. Alright, so we have 3 on gas. And we have 60 on minerals. We're going to start droning my natural now. Pre-rally the hatchery as soon as I'm fully saturated here. We can also take a moment to look at my mineral line and go, are they all optimally saturated? And no, they're not. This one has 3, this one has 1. So let's grab a drone and send it over. And now it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 everywhere. So now it's optimal. It does make a difference over time. You should do that always if you have a moment to spare. Get Zergling speed, and let's keep mining gas. Keep making drones as well. And we'll park our Overlord right here over the wall. I don't care about scouting into his main anymore that much. I just want to see his wall the whole time, so I can see if there's a weak spot anywhere. And now we're going to, because we're going to all in him anyways, so it doesn't matter. We're going to now, keep making drones. Let's start a 3rd base. And we're going to make a baling nest. We're going to drone to like 36. And then stop. Okay, we can stop now. can make a couple of more overlords. I have one about to pop. There you get it. There it is. We can make a couple more because we're now gonna start pooling some lings here. He's got a sentry and he's got a core, a couple gates, and a sentry. So here's the plan now. This guy has force fields, and we're gonna give this guy the benefit of the doubt. Okay, we're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt that he can probably micro a sentry. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bait force field out of the sentry, and we're gonna blow up this core. The core, or like we're gonna blow up this corner right here, so we can knock out 2 buildings. Alright, we can re-rally my hatcheries over here. If he moves a sentry like that, we might just run into his base. Okay, also, look what he just did. He just hallucinated a phoenix, guys. He's dead. Just so you guys know, he just lost the game. That's something we just saw happen. Which means he doesn't have enough energy now. He's going to scout what I'm doing, but now he can't force field. So we're going to make Banes. And we're going to break the door. We're now going to rally all our hatcheries right here, and we're going to keep making lings. Now let's put our banelings in its own control group while also having it in the main control group, so I can just have banelings go alone by themselves and bust his wall open. Now follow it all in. We can grab some lings to attack the pylon, and he's dead. It's really good to put banelings and not only in the main control group but also in their own control group, because if you don't do that, this is what's going to happen. If you're like, let's baneling bust the door here, this is what'll happen. You'll be like, oh, move. 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 Oh, God, move. Oh, banelings. Oh, God, move. Oh, move. Banelings are way slower than Zerglings. Especially when they don't have speed. So instead, notice how I have group 1, okay? Group 1 is everything. It's everything. But then I also bound banelings in their own group, which is group 3. So I can be like this. Group 1, go here. Go wherever. Group 3, go here. And now the Zerglings no longer block my Banes. And as soon as I know the Banes are in front of my lings, I can be like, everyone, go! And it makes it way more realistic. Also, if you have a situation where you need to get your Banes, let's say, on the opposite side of your lings as fast as possible, I can go like this. I can be like, group 1, like if I'm like, oh God, I want my Banes to be in the front, I can, since I have my Banes in their own control group, I can go like this. I can have like 1 attack, I can be like, back up, Banes go forward. And then 1 can go back again. And it fixes it really easy. Why not separate groups for lings and Banes? Because it just makes it easier when you're moving everything anyways. This is easy micro. This is very easy, simple micro. That way, every time if I'm moving over here, if I want to move over here, if I want to move over here, if I want to move over here, I don't have to be like double groups moving every time. I can just have 1 group move every time. But when it comes time, when it matters, I can then micro the Banes individually, like because I have a group for them. You can take them out of your group if you're more comfortable doing that. I'm not going to tell you you shouldn't, because it's totally fine. But doing it like that is super fucking easy. In ZVZ, I do take them out of the control group. In ZVT and ZVP, I do not. Personally. We're against the Terran. How would you fight that if you were Protoss? We'll talk about that when I'm Protoss. We'll have so much time to talk about this, all the races. But if I talk a lot about Protoss now while I'm playing Zerg, it kind of takes away from Zerg. But I'm doing a Bronze Gym for every race, so don't worry. There will be a lot of Protoss games coming up. ViBE, stop yawning. Did I just yawn? My bad. Alright, this game we can go for, Sorry. Yeah, I'm so tired lately, man. I haven't really been able to sleep a whole ton because this Bronze Gym stuff's keeping me so busy. Editing and just doing the streams. Let's go ahead and do a gas opener. We'll do another speedling opener. Do you plan to do bio this time? I'll do all types of builds now. I'll do bio builds, I'll do mech builds. I'll do all types of builds. Alright. So we're looking for his base right now. What's gonna happen here? We're gonna make 4 lings the second my pool's done. Right now we're making 4 lings. And these lings are just gonna kinda chill right here. This is just in case I get attacked by a Reaper. Now we're gonna grab a couple drones off the gas, just like we did when we went gas opener against Protoss. And notice we don't see anything here yet. This is kind of important. He does have a Marine here though. So now we're gonna make drones again. I actually was saving my larva for just a second when I didn't see a natural. Let's go ahead and hide my Overlord. Let's grab a second Overlord and send it down here. We might want to scout his base in a minute here. To get a follow-up scout as to what this could be. This could be a lot of things. So far what we saw was a double depot barracks wall with 2 Marines standing next to it. Which definitely means that he's not really using... This is no gas. Which means he could have gas going into something else like quick Banshees or Hellions or whatever. Something tech related. Or he might just have a command center on the high ground, you never know. We could actually run this Overlord as well, or on the side. And we can try and get some type of a scout off here. And in the meantime, we started the 3rd Queen. We made 4 lings to initially defend a potential Reaper. And we're making drones again. Because even if this is a tech all in, it can't hit me right away. Yo, Zephyr, thank you very much for the sub, dude. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So now with this next queen, we can go ahead and start making a creep tumor. And now, because I don't know what this is, let's play it safe, and let's make a Roach Warren. Because if this is Hellions and Hell Bats, Roach Warren's gonna make my life really easy. Alright, we're gonna sack this Overlord. We're flying right into the base. Okay. Double Tech Lab starports? Oh yeah, Tech Lab. It's 1-1-1 with 2 Tech Labs. So we can keep spreading our creep, guys. And we can send this queen now to our 3rd. And we can also take the rest of our gas in our main because we're fully saturated. And we can now take a natural gas as well. And excess drones can become spores for my bases. I'm putting a spore in every mineral line right now. Because this looks like it could be Banshee. And now we're going to go ahead and make roaches. Even though I have speed unlocked, this does not seem like a good time for speed yet. Don't really need the lings yet. And I don't need a lot of roaches either. We're not going mass roaches. I'm just making a few. Go ahead and make like 3 more roaches. We'll go up to like 6 roaches in total. We can start a layer. And now, oh, it's battlecruisers. You hear that sound? The ding! That's a battlecruiser warping in. So now we can start making more queens. And we can keep making drones. We can kind of like micro our queens a little bit. Just try to keep distance on the BCs. And we can throw down like another spore at every base. Oops. Keep making drones. This is a 1 base, guys, by the way. We can even make another pool right now because he keeps targeting this pool, so it might die. Keep making queens as well. We're making drones and queens right now, guys. Drones and queens. Drones and queens. This way we're not falling behind with any type of economy situation. Oh, my queen away. Attack with multiple queens. This pool's gonna die. What? They saw that was happening, so I made another one. We can go back to our drones and kind of like monitor it, make sure it's all looking good. Take a moment here to do that. And now let's add in a 3rd spore. Like this. This is good spore coverage versus someone who goes BCs, okay? Do it like this, and like a line of 3 in your mineral lines. Because BCs are generally going to fly near your mineral lines. Like this. And now to keep it really simple, let's make a Hydra Den. And we're really rich, by the way, guys. I've been droning my ass off during this process because he went 1 base battlecruiser. I have enough to stop some random Hellion attack. Like if there's like 4 Hellions that came over here as well, this would stop that, no problem. But I droned really hard, and we're really rich with good coverage of my base now. I'm not really worried about losing something here. We can take another base. We don't have to saturate it, but we're on 3 base economy now because he opened inefficiently. Start upgrading our Hydras. We can get an Evo chamber. Once again, same thing we do with... We're gonna go Hydraling Bane right now. That's the idea here. Keep it simple with the composition now, because he might not go mass BCs, but we'll think about it critically here for a second. We'll add in a Spire. We don't have to use it yet, but we'll add one in just in case he does go mass BCs. And now we'll start going into Hydraling. Let's also send a scout out now. Let's send 1 Ling to all of his bases around his base. Like we're gonna go scout his main, natural, 3rd, 4th. That whole area. All the bases around his main. So we can see, are you now trying to expand and be greedy or not?
Our forces are under attack.
We can keep creep spreading. So he's got a natural now. Keep creep spreading, keep injecting.
Mineral field depleted.
There you go, there's some Hellions. Creep spread's gonna help us see this really easy. It's a whole all in, guys. Keep making units. Let's actually aim move this now. Keep making units. The reason why we're gonna crush this is because we did not make too many units during the battlecruiser rush. We made drones, so I'm rich as fuck, and I can crush that kind of a timing now. That was not even comparable supply right there. He probably pushed me with like 70 supply.
Mineral field depleted.
Okay, so since we just won a fight, this always happens. Since we just won a fight, we're making mass drones. We're gonna saturate another base now. We can even start a 5th base. We don't have to saturate a 5th base. But because he just lost a fight, he committed to a fight, he lost. I'm gonna saturate 1 more base now because we're not up to optimal saturation yet. And this is gonna put us way further ahead than we already are. We can also get another upgrade on our stuff, or we didn't start it yet. We can get weapons on my ground. And let's actually upgrade Carapace on our air. And the reason why we're getting Carapace on the air is because Carapace Corruptors actually kick the shit out of battlecruisers. And the only reason why we have the Spire is just in case he goes battlecruisers. Okay, now we're at 82 drones. That's pretty good, I would say. That's a very rich economy for Zerg. And he doesn't have a 3rd base. So we're gonna now, the plan here is we're gonna max out on Hydra Ling and see where that takes us. We might win the game with it, we might not. Doesn't really matter if we don't win. We still have backups, right? This is our backup. The Spire is our backup plan. And we're going to start an infestation pit now as well, because that also is going to give us the potential to go into like Broodlords. If we don't win now, we always have a backup plan. That's the whole point here. You don't want to just be like, I'm going all in all game, always. We have a backup plan. Because he went BCs, which could also be mech. And if he goes mech, and he makes a bunch of tanks now, it's going to be really hard to break his base. So let's go ahead and go over to his base. Let's really quickly as well. Let's check the map really fast. Do you have a hidden base anywhere? We can just take a moment here to check that. Check this with the speed link. Go here, and then go there, and then come back here. And this will tell us if there's a hidden base. That's the only last expansions we haven't seen yet. And now with a lot of our Banes, or with all of our Lings, sorry, we can make Banes. Look, holy shit, he's got a hidden base. We'll send over some more Lings over there to go kill that. I just sent 4 Lings to go kill that. I didn't go with my whole army. Just send a few Lings. Actually, you know what? I probably should. This is gonna be a planetary. You can tell because of the top of the building here. Let's just go kill it. so it doesn't survive. Because I would actually teach you guys something stupid right now if I was like, let's attack! If my army dies and this is still alive, that's kind of dumb. We have every right to kill this right now, so let's just do that really fast. Because a 2-base Terran is never going to beat a 4-base Zerg. It just doesn't happen, really. So, killing that is a good idea. Now, we'll start a hive. We'll go and start range weapons level 2 and carapace level 2 on our upgrades. Air carapace level 2, ground range weapon level 2. Now let's get ready to bust him. See what we can do here. He's got advanced ballistics, or the drilling claws, whatever the hell it's called, on the widow mines. We're in no rush right now, guys, just so you know. This is Legacy of the Void. This is not Wings of Liberty. People run out of money really fast in this game nowadays. So if he sits there on 2 bases, I'm actually getting... I'm in a pretty good spot. All I gotta do is keep not slowing down here, keep preparing for more and more future situations. So as soon as my overlords get here that I just made, we're in no rush again. Okay, he's going mass banshees. So he just revealed his tech choice is now mass banshee. We can go ahead and do this. Be like, let's add some more spores. We can go like this. Just be like, spore, 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 spore. Make some more drones for this base. And we can be like, another couple more spores. And another spore. Whatever. I just made all the drones. All the drones I made into things. I just made into spores. And now we have proper ways to deal with what he has, which is widow mines. So now we have detection. So we're not going to run in and just lose everything. We can eject one more time before we go. And now let's A move him. And we can remax as this fight goes on. Look at my supply again. Gonna attack his base. Keep injecting, keep injecting, keep injecting. We can start going over here to this base. Drone count's still looking really good. It's 84. We can make another round of overseers. And this guy is now effectively on 1 base. We have now a 1-base Terran. Versus us who have played this game cautiously and well thought out game plan. We didn't even need to use the Spire, even though I have level 2 Carapace, Broodlord, or Corruptor right now. I'm going to go for level 3 Carapace now and level 3 weapons now because we're going for heavy Hydras because he's going heavy air. We're keeping it simple right now. But we have the ability to switch it if we want to. Alright, so we have another maxed out army. Let's go ahead and attack him. We can keep spreading creep, keep injecting my bases. Inject, creep, creep, creep. We're keeping the game really simple with what we're doing. Even though Ling Hydra Bane might not have been the best choice, we still did it anyways. As a first timing, because this guy, we just knew we had a better economy than this guy. And it worked out really well because he also went Marines with his battlecruisers. And stuff like that. So keeping my economy really well saturated. No bases are oversaturated. Every base is mining really well. Grab these guys and put them on gas. And he just teleported into my main. Let's just go attack him. And now that he's going BC heavy, we'll go Corruptor. Whatever we lose here, we'll remake into Corruptor. So right now I already have 7 Corruptors being made. 8, 9. 10. 11. Well, we can move our Hydras forward to get better utility of them. They move like that. Move the Hydras forward. They move for a second. Move the Hydras forward into his base now. We'll just move right here. Get them all in. Get them all up in there. And a move. Now our Corruptors. Watch the power of the Corruptor right now. And we can remake a Spire as well. Why not? We don't even have a lot. We just have some. But we've been upgraded armor for so long now that these things just don't die. These Corruptors just don't care. They're like, oh well, BCs suck against this. So they didn't really accomplish much, and now he's fully dead. So we prepared a possible counter to BC, and yeah, that was definitely good right there. What was the upgrades? The Corruptors had 2 armor, and the BCs had 1 weapon. But look at this. Before the fight actually happens, when the big one happens that we had, it's after we killed this planetary. Look at this. Look, watch the supply differential here. Just look at the supply. We've got 142 Terran versus a maxed out Zerg. And look at the banks. We've got a Terran with a little bit of a bank. He can make like 3 units with this bank. Like, he can make like 3 Banshees, since that's what he's doing. He can make like 3 Banshees with this bank. We, however, could basically remake our entire army. If all these Hydras die, I could remake 39 Hydras right now. That's a lot. And how many Hydras do we have? We have 34. I have enough of a bank to remake my entire Hydra army right now, if I want to. And now, instead of taking a fight where it's like we're panicking, we shouldn't really be panicked at all, because we know the Terran's on 2 bases, guys. There's no reason to panic here. We're on 5. We're not really on 4 bases. This base isn't saturated yet, but we're on 4 base versus 2, which is why that economy is so one-sided here. It's very, very strong for the Zerg. Hey, what's up, Juan? Juan, welcome to my Browns to GM special, dude. Special. Welcome to the special. And this is kind of the situation you'll be in here if you just move it. This is the result of dealing with what he did well. Okay? The biggest part of this game in total was this guy opened up with the battlecruiser rush, and we did not react to it in a bad way. All we did was we went, okay, he's going BCs. We're making drones, a few more spores, and we're now going into constant production of queens. That's it. Because guaranteed we're going to lose some queens to this. Guaranteed we're going to lose some drones to this. And we might also start losing more buildings to this if I don't also add in some spores. Because spores will help zone and push the battlecruisers away over time. So we did all of this. And it gave me a situation where I have this big-ass economy lead now. Because he opened up with a build that's not going to kill me. It's only going to harass me. Which makes our army fight like that. And now, after the fight's over, again, if we look at the supply, we can remax, and he's not. He's in a situation where he doesn't have any money to remax, guys. And now he's going to lose the natural to the existing army that's still here. Are we on a rerun? No, what's up, Johnny? I'm live right now. So the army eventually dies, and the Terran ends up, you know, crippled pretty hard here. He's a 1 base Terran now. He does have a natural now at his 3rd, basically. That's finished. But look at the SCV count. Look at the income now compared to the income above that. It's not comparable. So this next wave is going to absolutely just demolish him, which is now 40 Hydras again attacking. And every second that goes by now, with this kind of an income, we're developing a big bank again to remax. Again, if somehow this guy was further ahead than he is and we lost another army. It's all about the build-up. It decides everything. And then when we finally push, you know. This is why I was like, I'm not really in a position where I feel like I have to push really hard. We just need to take it more like intelligently. Because when we finally take the fight, his overall counterattack, it kills like a couple tech buildings in my main. And then dies. And there's nothing you can do about this. Even if I couldn't stop these, even if somehow I could not stop 3 battlecruisers. Let's just say, in a perfect world, these things have God mode on, and they just can't die. These 3 BCs still would never kill my base faster than I can kill his base with 40 Hydras. Did you go Banelings? Why did you go Banelings? Because it's standard. Because it's what we're gonna do every time we play Zerg right now. If we do a Ling opener, or if we're doing a, it's basically Ling Bane Hydra. Okay, that's the overall composition we're going for as the universal. This is what we can do every game, and we can add in little things around it as a reaction. This game we saw, oh, he's going fucking battlecruisers. Let's react to that by getting Carapace on our Spire. That's the only thing we did differently. Otherwise, we went Ling Bane Hydra. It's It's just a common comp that's strong against everything, that you can win literally every game in Diamond with, if you can macro well. And it's easy to micro. Do you recommend Lingbane Hydra over Roach Ravager? Yep. You wanna know why? It's because Lingbane Hydra hits air. Roach Ravager doesn't hit air, guys. What are you gonna do if you play a guy who just makes the game really weird because you don't know how to scout properly? Or you're not the best at scouting, and you're like, oh god, he went air. What happens then? If you just like spent all your money on Roach Ravager, you're gonna have a really weird, awkward game that you're probably gonna it's gonna turn really sloppy. Corrosive Bile the air units. Could try. Can you go Lingbane Hydra against Mech? You can, but that's the thing. Against Mech, you can open Lingbane Hydra, but you don't have to stay on Lingbane Hydra. I'm not telling you Lingbane Hydra is all we're doing all game forever. We just switched out of it again that game. We made Corruptors at the end because it sounded like a more intelligent choice against Battlecruiser than just Mass Hydra. Like, Mass Hydra could still work very fine, but we made for the possibility to go Corruptor. And one thing that's great with Zerg against Terran is if they go Mech and you go Broodlord, you can break Turtle Terrans really hard with that. All day. A really good Turtle Terran will make it harder for Broodlords to work, but that doesn't exist until you're like upper GM. Most Terrans, or maybe Masters, I guess some Terrans and Masters could do it too. But like, in general, your life will be easy. Alright, so this game we're going to go for a Speedling opener. It's a ZVZ, Speedling opener. Yo, Volterder, Dan, you're a great teacher. Thanks for your patient explanations. No problem, dude. Thank you for the sub, the 13-month-ola. Much appreciated, dude. When do you change this Lingbane Hydra? Yeah, Diamond 3. Because this build requires a little bit of micro. It requires more awareness on the map and, you know, actually actively looking at your units a little bit more. So, we started doing it in Diamond. Okay. My headset keeps doing this, man. What's wrong with you? I think it always did it, but somehow my notifications are back on. I gotta look at that. Okay. So here's what's gonna happen now. We're gonna play this really safe. Okay? Really safe. At 50 gas after getting Zergling speed, we're gonna pull a drone off, okay? And now, we're gonna make a Baneling nest. This is super safe, what we're doing. Now we can make a couple of lings. And with these couple of lings, we can go over and scout our opponent. And we can also take our third. After we take our third, we'll go ahead and start another queen. There you go, let's another queen. Inject. And inject. Let's go ahead and make a couple Banes. Blind Banes right now. Just blind Banelings. Make it 2 more. We'll make 4 blind Banes. And now let's make some lings behind it. We'll make like 8 lings, which is like 4 eggs right here. We put them in separate control groups. The Banes are in one, and lings are in another. Now let's check this third base with our Overlord really fast. Do we see anything? No, we don't. So let's take 2 lings. Go there, shift, all on move command. Because we want to scout his base now. And now that we're fully saturated on our natural, let's take a second gas on our natural. Let's take a Roach Horn, and let's take an Evo Chamber. Okay, he has a third. Now we can make 3 drones for the gas. And we can start sending drones to our third base.
Under attack.
He's going roach wall off. So now, since he's going roach wall off, let's test the waters here and see how much he actually has. And send our overlords away a little bit. Making one last round of drones right now. Get some weapons, but we'll start attacking the third base, and we'll see what he does about that. We can also start a layer now. And we can start a third gas, now that we have some saturation on our third. He's got a roach. Okay, let's attack it. Alright, let's try and run into his base one more time. See what we can see. A lot more roaches. He's not saturating either of those gases. He is making roaches. He's got a layer. He's doing like the 2-base roach timing. So now, let's start making our own, just mass roaches. Our own roaches and just make a lot of them. Try not to supply block as well. Just make roaches and overlords. Because we just scouted his build. So we were prepared for a Zerg who may or may not have gone for a Ling all-in. And now we're prepared for a Zerg who's going for a roach all-in. Or a roach timing. It's not really an all-in because he's got a third base. It's more of a timing. We can spread our creep between our bases. Now we can take another gas. And he's moving out. So notice how there's no rally of roaches behind this? We're watching the minimap and we don't, okay, yes there is. Make roaches still. Keep making roaches. There's still a rally of roaches. Keep your eye on the minimap to see red dots going forward to your base. I won't even look at it next time, but I'll show you when it happens.
Mineral field depleted.
Okay, now it's kind of stopped. So now we have a lot of roaches. Now let's stop making roaches and start making drones. We can take another gas to my main with the drones that are starting to mine out. And we're making drones. I still haven't seen a move out again. So let's actually go ahead and make an overseer. Because now, if he's not going to flood me, that means one of 2 things. He's either now droning himself, or he's going for some tech switch, like mutas or something like that. Because we're not seeing move outs. So we can make a changeling, go to his third base and scout the mineral line. And then we can make our overseer go to the main and scout the tech, because most likely that's where people put things. And now we're fully saturated on 3 bases. Let's go back to making roaches. And we can start a hydrogen right now.
Under attack.
What was the mineral line? I didn't see it. Mineral line is pretty much, it's like 14 or 15 drones on that. And no gases though. And then he has, you know, the main going. Basically what I see from this is we're ahead of the Zerg right now in overall economy. A little bit. He's keeping up though, but we're a little bit ahead. So here's what we can do. Let's do a little cute move right now. Send our Banes right here, down on the bottom of the map. But we really don't need them in this situation. Okay, he's actually moving out. And never mind. His roaches are on the bottom now, so let's go opposite of the roaches. Let's send our Banes on the top now. And now let's do this. Make a few Ravagers, because he's pushing me. And he's what is his composition? It's like all roaches. Does he have gas here? No. Which means it's probably not mutas. And
Mineral field
it's fine. We don't need to worry about like rushing hydros right now. If we logically look at his build, he's got burrow move. You can tell the crystals are on his head, boys. So now, if we're playing against a burrow move Zerg, back it up. Evolve your overlord speed. Get a couple of overseers, and let's go like this. Spine's fine. Spine's fine. Spine's fine. Make drones every time to replace the spines we just made. And let's just randomly send our Banes to his mineral line right now, like right here. We'll see what happens. And something may or may not happen with that. And we can go like this too with overlords. One overseer, go to the top. One overseer, go to the bottom. These are getting denied, it's not a big deal. And we can go like this too. Oversight mode, right in front of my base. Oversight mode, right in front of my base. And now, this is kind of like, here we go. Let's go. Attack. Attack forward. Move, attack forward. Move, attack forward. Move, attack forward. And start throwing corrosive bile at his army. Make roaches during the fight. So this Zerg player, we can keep A moving him if he doesn't run away completely. This Zerg player is playing like that Protoss player we played a little bit ago, where he's going for a style that is all about harassing me. So what we're gonna do now to play this game really safe is we're actually gonna add in a lurker den. We're adding in a lurker den, guys. We can make some more changelings to go scout around the map. Just throw him around the bases and just kind of see where his army is. It's fine. Put him anywhere, really, on his side of the map. Here we go. Attack. 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 When people do one attack, they usually line up multiple. Well, there's no roaches here. I don't see anything. But we're good. Now we're going to make some hydras. And let's add in one more spine to every base now. We're missing one here, so we need to go 2 more. We're going to do 3 spines per base. It's got another army right there. It's going around the outside. Let's cut him off. And with our hydras, let's go ahead and make lurkers. Attack, move forward. Attack, move forward. Now, replace that, and we'll put a lurker at every base.
Mineral field depleted. Mutation complete.
Now we can get a second Evo. We can start getting Hydra upgrades,
Depleted.
and we can go into a hive because we're gonna get a Infestation Pit, and we can go into 3-3 eventually on our army. And now that we have a really good overall controlled base here, we can try and push and not worry about like, oh, we're gonna die if this guy goes full base trade. Attack. 1 corrosive bile. 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 All we're doing with the corrosive bile is we're throwing 1 corrosive bile at a time on the clump of his army. On the clump of his army. On the clump of his army. We're not throwing corrosive biles like all at once. We're just throwing 1 at a time on the clump of his army. Everywhere there's a big fat clump of roaches, 1 bile. Wait a second. 1 bile. Do it again. Keep throwing it on the clump. Because it makes counter micro against that really fucking annoying. And now all our roaches that we just remade are done. We actually don't have roach speed. Oh my god. We're gonna go ahead and move out without roach speed. Holy shit. That was bad. Here we go, guys. 1 corrosive bile. 1 corrosive bile. So he's got Muta now. So now we can fight this for what it is, and we can go remake Muta. I mean, remake Hydra for the Muta. Corrosive bile. Corrosive bile. Okay, we'll back up to my base now. We'll make 3 spores on my outer bases. Like this. On the outer bases only. And then we can make like 2 spores on my inner bases. Because most likely these bases aren't going to get a hit as much or at all. And here's the Hydras. They're well upgraded Hydras versus unupgraded Mutas. It doesn't go well for the Muta. And then same thing with this base, a couple of spores. And that's now, because he just lost a fight, a big one. We did not lose our whole army, guys. We have a great army still. We're now going to resaturate our bases a little bit and fix our economy a little bit more. It's been kind of hard to figure out a point to squeeze drones in now, but that was a clear win right there for us. So we're saturating a bit more now, getting everything fixed up. There's the Mutas. Let's bring over the whatever they're called, the Roach Hydra. Now we can take another base. And now with this, we can get 3/3 upgrades, and we can actually move out of our base and go attack him. Because again, if he counters me, I still got Lurker Spine. It's not like that's not there still. Lagging really hard. Holy shit. Alright, let's move out. We can use the Changeling to kind of like spot bases for us.
Mineral field depleted.
But right now, all we're doing is Roach Hydra. We're using the Lurkers only defensively at the moment. We didn't actually use the Lurkers to attack his army with right now. Alright, we'll go around the other way now. We just cleared this out. We just saw where his army was. Here comes the counter, whatever. He's got supply invested into mutas over there that aren't going to do anything. Hey look, overlords. Alright, let's take one A move down to his army. Before we take this fight, really quick. Before we take this fight, let's make sure all the roaches are in the front and the hydras are in the back. Now we can take the fight. Okay, he's coming with ultras, actually. So we're on A move right now. Make units during the process. Make a bunch of hydras. And now we can make a bunch of roaches. Make a bunch of roaches. Inject. 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 If this game does not end right now, we are going to make lurkers next time. Because he's actually going ultra now. So we just overall, I would say, won that fight barely. Not really. We actually... Okay, yeah, we did. We both lost our entire army. He lived with one roach. That one roach right there was the only one that lived throughout that whole fight. And we killed his base, though. So now let's actually go into our hydras here, and let's grab like 8 of them, okay? Just like 8. And now let's actually use lurkers in an aggressive situation. And make hydras again. Hydra lurker is better than roach, just so you guys know. As an overall idea of StarCraft. Okay, so here's what's going to happen every fight. We're going to cancel that. The mutas are still there. We're going to run the lurkers forward, and we're going to burrow them. We're not going to focus fire or anything with them. We're just going to burrow them. This is why we have spores in our main in every base, because in case he tries to go to the outside or the inside. We can go kill these units that are going to go back to my hatchery here. These mutas. He's probably going to let them all die, because I don't think he knows these mutas are worthless at this point, so I don't think he cares. Now, let's go push. Take it nice and easy, boys. Every time, this is what we're going to do. Every time we fight him, immediately, we're going to burrow our lurkers. Immediately. Push, nice and easy, boys. Burrow. A move. Okay, stop chasing him. Up burrow. Go forward. Move the base. We can A move this base. If he fights me, I burrow. We can stop the lurkers right now. Whatever. Wait for him to get. Or we'll just burrow right now anyway. It doesn't matter. Here he comes. Maybe. Okay. Don't worry about it. He seems like he wants to go counterattack mode. And guess what, guys? I have lurkers on defense as well from earlier. Burrow. So he'll do some damage to me, but watch these overseers. Notice how they just died to spores? He has no detection now. So we can just be like, let's take another base over here. And let's take another base over here. And let's keep making hydras like right there. And that's it. We're done doing anything with my defense now. Other than making units as things die. But this lurker right here is just cleaving over and over. He's just killing shit. And every base he goes to is going to be the same exact thing. Same with this base. This lurker is just cleaving the fuck out of everything right now. Take hydras. Same with this thing. These two lurkers are cleaving the fuck out of everything. Trying to see the hatchery one's cool. So he turned it into a panic mode. I'm gonna all in you now. And we prepared ourselves for that because of 2 reasons. One is this guy, we had spines because this guy had burrowed move roaches. And if you guys can't tell the difference between what is and what is not a burrowed move roach, let me rewind this. This is a burrow move roach. Look at his head on the roach. Let me go down closer. See how those crystals on his head are like really lit up? It's like the spikes on top of the roach are like really colorful now. Whatever color of his race is, it's like neon lights on top of his head of that color. All these roaches they're going to a fucking rave, guys. They got all these red crystally lights on their heads. Now look at my roaches. It's really dull. There's no lights on their head. It's all black. It's just black. There's no color here. Like there's no blue crystals on my head. This is a non-burrow move roach. This is a burrow move roach. That's how you can easily look at it and be like, ah, burrow move. Okay, okay, okay. So that was step 1 of being like, okay, well, he's got burrow move. Let's get spines. And we added spines every base so that we can't just have roaches being like burrowed 5 roaches here, 5 roaches here, 5 roaches here, 3 roaches here, up burrow all and be like, oh, my economy's dead. We prepared for it because we read it. We read what he was doing by seeing it and going, okay, let's counter that before it happens, because now we know what he's doing. And then we made a lurker den as well, just in case this guy was going to play the style of, I'll never attack your army. I'm only going to attack your economy and break your base from the inside out. And then once you're broken, then I fight your army. Some people like to play StarCraft like that. And because he might, it's not even a guarantee yet, but because he might play like that, we made a lurker den. We didn't even guarantee to have to use a lurker den. But as soon as we never really, this guy never really wanted to take a fight. He never really committed to a big fight full on that much, except for the one in the middle of the map here when there was mutas over my army, I guess. That was like the only one he really committed to early game. The rest of them were kind of just like in and out, in and out, in and out. So then we said, all right, fuck it. This guy's not really committing to fights. Let's add lurkers to it. Because every time he doesn't really throw an army away into a big battle, it's making it seem more and more like lurkers now are going to be great because it will stop counterattacks really well, especially in combination with the static D. And then finally, when we saw, okay, this guy's actually going Ultralisk now. We just committed to the one fight. We said, fuck it. We're committed. We already have Lurker, Spore, Spine at every base because we're countering burrow move roaches, mutas, and now and now we're going to start making more Lurkers. They now counter Ultras. And whatever happens in this fight happens. We actually both traded armies like pretty much evenly. And then our follow-up army was Hydra Lurker with just a little bit of roaches. Not too many. It was mostly Hydra Lurker. But not even Lurker. It was mostly Hydra with a little bit of roach and a little bit of roach and a little bit of Lurker. 8 Lurkers and like 15, 14 roaches, and then mostly Hydra. We had 24 Hydras. So what this means is every time now when we fight his army, we just literally burrow all the Lurkers. And we just stand next to them with our ground army. And his army will die so fast because if you guys didn't know this, a lurker does an insane amount of damage to an armored unit, which is what an ultra is. So if you guys want to know a great counter to ultras, just go fucking lurkers. It's really good. Especially if you spread them out a little bit like this. Like they're just you keep them not like stack them one little ball. You just keep them either in a line or you just spread them out in general. And the only thing that ultras can really do to lurkers to fuck them over is blinding cloud or use a viper in general. But it makes it way harder to use vipers as well if you have spread out lurkers. Like lurkers just own ultras really hard.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But notice, if you guys notice, the real Anarchos. The real Anarchos. Thank you very much for the sub, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. If you guys have noticed, a lot of our games here are all about preparation. We're not putting ourselves in a situation where it's now really hard to deal with because we didn't properly prepare. It's actually the complete opposite. We're putting ourselves in situations where we're looking at our opponent's build about 3 minutes before it actually happens. By just looking at obvious things. Oh, my opponent is going for burrow move. I assume I'm going to get counterattacked. Let's prepare. Things like that. It makes your life so much easier if you're already prepared when it happens. Hey ViBE, thanks for the effort, but you're playing the game wrong. I've been playing SDU since Season 5, and I've been watching the Gucky StarCraft League with arthritis. And the other guy that isn't important a lot. So I'm basically an expert in this game. J-Bong, the pro esports athlete, even asked me to coach him. So you know I'm legit. I don't want to waste time on bad players like him. No wonder he went back to Minecraft. Number 1, you were supposed to play the human race called Space. How high are you right now? I was trying to follow along with what that meant, but it made no sense. So many edibles. Alright, we got a Protoss again. Alright, last time against Protoss we did null in. I'll do a gasless build again. We'll do a gasless defensive build. I'm gonna keep kind of bouncing around builds to give you guys like a good variety of choices you can have. And you can pick, you know, ones you like, basically. Instead of just doing one build every game, because as Diamond, I feel like you're capable of doing more builds now. And Diamond and above, basically. We'll do this all the way to GM now. We'll just rotate our builds around and do things that are different. What do you mean by gasless? It's really late delayed gas. So you don't get speedlings, basically. The build I already showed you, by the way, the Roach build, that is also, even though you take a gas at 20 supply, it's kind of like a gasless build because it's a Roach timing build. But this build's going to be more greedy than the last one. Even more greedy. Than the one I've been showing you since Bronze. I've already done this build kind of once, but the Protoss blocked our natural, so it got weird. Alright, so the Protoss expanded. I don't know, it's lag. Is that me lagging? I hope not. It's like the 3rd time my game's frozen. Hey ViBE chat, what's up? Yo, Invicto won! Invicto. What up, dude? So we're making drones. He's got 1 gas. This guy's playing very economical. He hasn't chrono boosted anything though. That's the one thing that we notice here. This guy's chrono boosted nothing yet. And he's not making a gateway unit. Or a core upgrade. Now he's finally making a gateway unit. It's probably a stalker, because I'm sitting here. Now he's chronoing it. Okay. Now he's chronoing this. Okay, this guy's going to probably be aggressive. If you see a Protoss player that gives you hints that they're going to be aggressive, this is fucking aggressive. What I want you to do is I want you to look at the game clock and go, oh, it's 3 minutes. Let's take our gas. Take your gas at 3 minutes, if it looks like an aggressive Protoss. This is Diamond 3, yeah. Now we can fly around some more with our Overlord. We can send another Overlord over here as well, because this location can't really die very easily. So we can kind of like watch the area right here. Same thing with this one. We can kind of watch the area right here. It's really hard for Protoss to kill Overlords there. So it gives us a good idea as to like what's happening before it happens.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so we're gonna start spreading our creep. Connect all of our bases is the plan here. And now around, like, right around 4 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and throw down a roach horn. And we're also going to throw down a layer with our first 100 gas. You guys might be wondering, ViBE, why are you putting a creep tumor back there? It's actually a really good habit to spread creep around your main and then eventually connect it to your natural, because this way, if a warp prism or something happens over here, and he went Phoenix as well, or denied my overlords in some way, I can still see it, because if I have creep there now. Makes it my life just easier. Alright, so we're saturated on 2 bases. Roach one's done. Let's go ahead and make some safety roaches now. Then we can grab our queen and send it over further. Put another creep tumor here. Start making some roaches. We'll make like 8 roaches. We made 10. That's fine. Now let's grab a Zelnaga. Let's grab a Zelnaga. And let's go scout both of his thirds. With all these lings that we have. We only made like 8 lings, by the way. We didn't go mass lings. But we just scouted both Zelnagas and both third potential bases. And now, let's do one more round of drones. And we're gonna wait to see what happens with our lings. Okay, so there's no gold. There's no base there. This ling is probably gonna die to that stalker, so let's send this ling over here. And try and figure out if this guy has a fourth. Or a third. There's no third. So now, if you ever get to a game with Protoss, and they don't have a third by 5 minutes, okay? Not even attempted to be started by 5 minutes. Here's what I think you should do. You should stop saturating your bases at, you know, your current saturation, which is like we have 4 gases and we have 3 mineral lines. Okay, that's on the greedy side even, but that's enough. And now we're scouting into his base and we see double robo. We're gonna see aggression basically. We see double robo. We see a lot of stalkers. Okay. And now my gas income is gonna start kicking in here really fast, which is gonna allow me to really hammer the roaches out. This build is all about having just a ton of money, a ton of minerals to work with, and you're gonna see my supply start exploding right now, because we're not droning too far. We're droning just enough off of a decent scout. That's going to give us a good idea as to what we have to deal with, which is a stalker push, followed up with probably immortals and archons. It's probably archons, and or maybe some storm. So we're just making excessive amounts of roaches for now, because I actually feel like I might get attacked and it might be scary. We're gonna make roaches up to like 150 supply, which is gonna be plenty. If this guy goes for a 2-base timing, if he hits me now, I keep making roaches, okay? But if he does not hit me and I'm at like 150, which I am now, we can kind of poke him and see if he's taking a third now. And behind this, while we move out, we can expand our tech. We can go Hydra, Bane, Evo, Metabolic Boost, and saturate my gases. And refix the mineral line of the drones I just kind of like took off of it.
A creep tumor is under attack. Our forces are under attack.
Notice how he was really obsessed with killing my overlord? That's a sign again right there, making me go, maybe he's going DTs. So take a second here, just really quickly, and go like this. Shit like that's a sign. You're like, why do you want to kill my detection so bad? Oh, maybe he's going DTs. So we're replacing every drone we spend to make static D. We're replacing all of them. And we're gonna go ahead and start getting range weapons, Banelink speed, Hydra upgrades, and we still have metabolic boost going. Now in our next base, we can go ahead and do this. Spine Spore. And now we're going to take a moment here, because we haven't really won an army yet. We haven't won a big fight yet, so we're not saturating our 4th yet. But we're going to go see what happens right here really fast. Does he have a 3rd? He does have a 3rd. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. See if we can get away with this. Okay, now let's attack his stalkers a couple times, but ultimately, let's just get away. Fuck it. Because we're not gonna, why take a fight when I have a good bank to make more army with? I just did an attack right there. That now, logically, what is that gonna do? I kill the Protoss' 3rd. If he's gonna sit there defensively and rebuild it and be behind now, or he's gonna be like, alright, I'm gonna go attack you now. Generally speaking, most Protosses in this position will be like, I'm just gonna go attack you, because that sucks. If he doesn't, I'll attack him when I max. If he does not attack me, I will once again attack him when I max. We're just kind of controlling the game right now for our opponent. Nothing's happened. We're the one forcing the issue here, not him, because he's actually being really defensive. So we can keep spreading our creep. And now that we're about to be maxed out, now we can be the ones who go back and hit him again when we're maxed, or he'll attack me when I'm maxed. That also works for me. That's really good. So let's try to do the same thing as last time. Grab my army and split it up in half. You guys remember when I did that? If this guy pokes me, we're gonna split my army in half. Do some more creep spreading, or I mean some more injecting. Another upgrade. We can prepare for the late game before the fight happens. So just start making this for now because it takes time, and we'll move on. Let's start moving across the map. Seems like he saw my army and went, "Oh shit, let's not take that fight." So we'll go ahead and do this. We'll take some of my roaches and my banes and my hydras, and we'll move it right here. And the other part of my army will go here. This way I have multiple engagements now. I don't have just all my army coming in on one ramp. We're going for a multi-prong, like push. So this army can go here. This army can go here. And now we can move down the ramp together with everything. Move past his army right here. Eat some damage for a second. And then A move it. Like, just get in his army. He actually backed up, so we countered that a little bit. But for the most part, we have a lot. And now behind this, we can be like, remake hydras, remake lings. And now a big fight just happened. And we just crushed his army, and not only that, but we also have a new army. So let's go ahead and grab our new units that we just made. And let's send him right back over here again, because we just crippled him really hard. And behind this, we can now go for the thing we talked about earlier. We can go for a hive. Spire. This is potential in-game material right here. And we can also saturate a fourth. Because our opponent can't really counterattack us right now, because he just got crippled really hard. And now after we saturated our fourth, we're back up to like 80 drones again. It's looking solid. We can now start making like hydras all over again. If we don't win the game right now. We can make another hatchery. Okay, so he might hold. It's looking really close. Like, we just traded armies again. But the difference is I crippled his third. And I saturated my fourth. Okay, he's going disruptors now. So here's what I'm thinking now. Okay, this is kind of where this game's going now. If he's gonna go disruptors, what we can do now is we can make one more Hydra army and Ling Bane army, and we can see what happens with it. But ultimately, we can transition now into a Broodlord push because he's going for a very heavy anti-ground based army. He's going for higher tech robo units than just immortals at this point. And if this guy were to counterattack me, with how my economy has been saturated up to this point, I guarantee we'd be totally fine. There's no way we break to what he's doing. So we're making Hydras, Lings, and Banes. And now since we're also going to start... This is going to be our last Hydra push, and we're going to kind of start transitioning out of Hydras. Because he's going for bigger, more powerful units on the ground. And I haven't killed him yet. So let's go ahead and start preparing for a potential. Doesn't have to be guaranteed, but it's a potential in-game. Let's get Adrenal Glands. Let's start going melee. We'll start going into Ling style with air instead of just Hydra Ling Bane. But for now, we'll do one more Hydra Ling Bane push. Like this is gonna be the last one. This is the last one, and then we switch out of it. And this still might kill him, and we might not even need to worry about the transition we've been preparing for. But it might not kill him. Alright, so we're gonna grab our drones that are excess, send them down. These drones all look good. Take a little more Lings, and make some of my Lings into Banes. And let's spread some creep. And let's do it, guys. Maybe some more Banes. Okay. Alright, now this one will be like my final attack. Let's go ahead and start moving across the map. Once again. Okay, so he's right there, so now we know where he is. So let's go and do this. Let's grab some of my army, send it to the bottom, grab some of my army, send it to the top. And we'll go like this. Move it around. Move it around. We see where he is. Now we're on both sides of him. Now let's attack towards where his army is. Now we have a much bigger concave. And behind this, again, if this does not win, we can go Broodlord. It looks like it won though. So it looks like we don't need to even worry about it. But if he didn't die, and let's say this time he actually crippled, like he got like 4 or something really amazing disruptor hits, and I was like, oh shit. Like my Hydra army just got kind of decimated a little bit, and now I'm still gonna trade with him. It's not like my army just insta dies. But I still would trade with him. But let's say I can't ultimately kill him. I can come back to my base and start making Broodlords. We can make like 8 Broodlords. And then go into like lots of Lings with Broods or something like that. Or go Hydra Ling Brood for now. But Broods are great. Broods are amazing in like game-ending units. These things will just cripple your opponent really hard. But all these fights we kept taking, I guarantee I was way higher in supply. Just because we are greedy. We're being greedy. And we're not getting punished for it because we're scouting and we're preparing properly. Like we made the roaches. He could have tried to attack me, but we made the roaches when it was necessary because we scouted, okay, this guy's going for chrono boosted gateway and core. So we're going to go for our gases at 3 minutes this game. Double gas at 3 minutes. Because if you go gasless, there's 2 types of timings. You have gas at 3 minutes and you have gas at 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Pretty much the way it works is you go gas at 3 minutes versus everything that is not a Stargate opener. And if it is a Stargate opener, you go gas at 3 minutes 40 seconds. Because Stargate openers are not designed to kill you right away. They're designed to harass you and then kill you later. But every other type of opener that could be aggressive from Protoss that is not Stargate, like Charge Lots, like Mass Adepts, like Blink Stalker all-ins, like Immortal all-ins, like DT rushes, those builds are more designed to kill you if you don't have a proper defense, like right away. Are we going to Diamond 1 all races tonight? Definitely not. No. I haven't even gotten 1 promotion yet today. And I've already been streaming for 3 hours. Diamond is massive. What was the gas timings for Stargate? 3 minutes and 40 seconds. The reason why 3 minutes 40 seconds is relevant is because against Stargate, you want to make more drones because it's all about harassing you.
Yeah.
And then you're going to... Still at 3 minutes 40 seconds, you would then be able to make roaches after that. And still have enough roaches in time to defend, like, now a ground timing after the Protoss opens Stargate. So it's a greedier build for Zerg. Because the Protoss is going to be more harass-based. Yo, Swifty537. Thank you for the 4-month sub, my dude. Thank you, man. I think your donation alerts are off, dude. They're on. Oh, Patexta, I see what you said. It's you hit a it was a minimum one. That's why. I had a guy donating a lot. Sorry, I see it now. I'll read it in a second. But I had a guy who donated like every 4 seconds for like $1, $1, $1, $1, $1, $1, and it kept sending off my bot, and he kept doing paragraphs. So I upped it to $3. I upped it to $3 because I was like, "Fuck, this bot never stops talking." But Patex, thank you for the $1, man. I appreciate it. And the donation message is, it is. You don't have to be sorry. Thank you for supporting me, dude. I appreciate it. But that is why I upped it a little bit. Is it possible for the previous Bronze to Platinum build to still be in the rotation for you to show for all races, but with more micro? Sure. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, sure. Why not? How about this? I'll do that this game right now. I'll do that this game. I'll do the old build in Bronze GM this game now. It's a great idea, actually. I shouldn't just disregard that build.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, Russ Mowgli. Thank you, dude. Welcome to the V fam. Welcome. I'll do a speedling build next game. But this game I'll do the actual old build we were doing through Bronze GM from Bronze to Plat. That's a good idea. I should actually do that. I should keep the old build going as well. A little bit longer. But in Master League I probably won't do it anymore, just so you guys know, because when it comes to some of those builds I made for Protoss, Terran, and Zerg, they're designed to make your life easy, but it's not actually super efficient. Just so you guys know. So like the Terran build, I might not do that anymore if I hit like Master League with it, you know? Like it's gonna just be bad at that point. Alright, so we're against the Protoss. And this dude is going for a Twilight Council. For that Stalker killing my Overlord, which is all G. I thought the Roach build was super good in ZVZ though. It is, though it totally is. That's an exception though. But this Roach build is not super good against Protoss or Terran. So this build is actually not the best build against Protoss or Terran, but I will do it in Diamond League here and there for the sake of helping people transition into understanding the game more. That's a good idea. I think that's totally fine. But it's not something I'm going to tell you that like you should still do all the time, because you're actually going to start struggling as you go higher in leagues, because these builds, again, are not super efficient in terms of now if you actually know how to use your units. Like if you actually know how to take control of the map, or your opponent knows how to take control of the map, it's not going to be the most efficient thing anymore. Anyways, so now we have a couple roaches being made. We're going to take a third base anywhere. He's guarding the other side, so let's attack him with my drones. And let's make an Overseer defensively, because this guy might also even go Dark Templar rush. He rushed a Twilight Council really fast, which generally means we're going to see a guy go for a Twilight Council upgraded base timing, charge slot, adept timing with glaives, or blink with stalkers, something like that. But if that doesn't happen, a lot of times what a Twilight Council rush means is it's Dark Shrine. So I haven't seen any indication yet that we're getting rushed by charge lots or something like that. So I made an Overseer for the possibility of DTs. It's not a guarantee. It's not like I fucking know exactly that's happening right now. But I'm ruling out the possibility by just spending 50 gas and 50 minerals on an Overseer. And now we're going to start saturating our third base. While we move out, I'm going to make a second Overseer defensively, just in case. And I'm going to start droning again, like I said. And with the drones we're starting to make now, I'm going to start making Hydrogen and going from there. Alright, so he's got Immortals. We can also start a fourth hatch really quick here, because we're going to drone our asses off now. Hey look, a probe's going this way, so let's go down to his third and deny it. There might not have been a third here, but that probe revealing that stuff is over there is a good... And there you go, look, DTs, guys. That's exactly what he's doing. This is why we make a defensive Overseer. Now that base is gonna die. Well, let's go ahead and wall my base off now for a sec. And the DTs are still here. I'm still making drones, by the way. And we're doing Hydra upgrades now. Okay, he's got an up prism, so good job for him. We'll make another building, another hatchery. We'll have to cancel that. Alright, so we're both on two bases. That was good, annoying attack by Protoss there.
Unacceptable command.
Behind this, we're still droning. We're just long distance mining now, unfortunately. But now in our bases we can go Spore Spine, because of the possibility of more DTs that are going to attack me.
Metamorphosis complete.
And we saw, when we looked at his composition, we saw that this guy is going for Immortals, and now it also obviously means he's going for Archons. So we're going to go Ling Bane Hydra, and we're kind of focused on our economy right now, just to get our 3 base saturated at the very least, and get maybe a little bit of my 4th base going. Spore Spine. Alright, we're going into Hydra production now, and now we're also going to start Bailing Nest. I already have the other buildings.
Mineral field depleted. Our forces are under attack.
So we got our 3rd fully saturated, and our 4th is a little bit saturated. It's got some drones pulled off my main, but it's got a little bit of extra drones on it as well. We're just making Hydras right now, because nothing big's happened yet. We didn't super saturate this yet. We're just kind of rotating drones around. So my drone count overall right now is 72. It's not in the 80s yet. I would like to be in the 80s, but it's not yet. But we're making Hydras for the time being. And as soon as the Bailing Nest is done, we make Bailing Speed. Let's go ahead and get a couple of gases at my 4th. Let's reroute my Spine Spore to be more realistically defending these mineral lines. And now we're safe from any small DT aggression, any DT pressure. And we're almost hitting that point where we're going to have a very scary amount of supply. Our Hydras right now are level 2 weapons, so we're going to start going into melee upgrades. Because we eventually want to use melee upgrades anyways, if the game goes on long enough. So if we're in a situation where damage has been dealt a little bit here and there, early game, we will start upgrading faster because we're not teching as hard now. We're teching a little bit later now because we lost a 3rd base twice because of the DT drop. So there's a prism right there. We can go deal with that. Some gas. Gas. He's pushing me. Okay, so since he's pushing me, we make Banes. He's actually pushing really fast. He's just kind of going ham. Let's sideswipe these Immortals. Like, that was really gung-ho right there by him. Like, that's why you kind of don't really want to just, like, rush creep. Like, oh, fuck it! Run into it! All of it! Because that'll happen. I just ran on his army. That's a little YOLO right there. Now we can go ahead and start a infestation pit. That was a big win right there. That was a big fight. So let's actually, I'm feeling confident now that we can squeeze out some more drones and not worry about that fact that we might die. And now that we can actually squeeze out some more drones and have a bit more economy to work with here, let's do this again. Prepare the late game. Add another spine and a lurker den. Let's spawn at every base and a lurker den at my main. This way, if this guy goes for counterattack style, we can do 3 spines as well in the outer bases because they're more likely to get hit. But now, if the guy attacks me, we have a very solid, even more solid defense that we can have against like Warp Prism pressure. And I did that after he lost the army, after he lost bits and pieces of everything. And now our main, our layer is ready to go to a hive. We can start a spire as well. And there's his army. So let's split it up. Grab whatever we can, and try to like split up a little bit. Run away with the little bits. Go over here. Meet up. You can go down here. I just want to surround him. Okay, he's going over here still. Let's back this up a little bit. We're almost at that surround point. And now let's go. Surround him. Because he's got army kind of scattered as well. So that army was way more useful for us the way we kind of fought that. Instead of fighting from one angle against a bunch of psionic storm, we just tried to try our best to get our army on both sides to clamp and kill him. And it worked great. Once we A moved, we legit just A moved. But before that, it was all about like, all right, come on, try and organize it. GG. Because Hydra, Ling, Bane, this army runs faster than Archon Immortal. So I, as the Zerg player, get to choose where the fight kind of happens. I'm the one who gets to dictate if we fight, you know, right away, right there, or if I want to move a little bit and go over here. I can choose where the fight goes. And then before the fight actually happened, we have, how much? It's similar, somewhat similar supplies. It's a 170 Protoss versus a 187 Zerg. So this is just the power of engagement now. Like he's got, his army is actually really scary. My army is also really scary. But the scary part of his army is right there. These Templar. The scary part of my army is these Banes. Also the Hydras too, but these Banes are probably the scariest part because if these Banes get really good connections, it makes the fight go really heavily in my favor. So it's both of us have something that can burst down the other person. But with how we've kind of set it up where we're trying our best to get half our army on both sides, we kind of have like 40% of our army over here and like 60% of our army over here. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to kind of eyeball it. You're like, clump, go that way, clump, go this way. And then you fight the Protoss and this kind of just happens. We're on A move too. I'm not trying to like line up everything perfectly with splitting every Hydra and Storm. I just both sides and I clamped it together with like an A move, and then it became way more effective. And now the supply is max for Zerg and a Protoss who's half the supply. So flanking is huge. It makes your army way more valuable as Zerg if you can actually set up a flank and do it. Yeah, dude, this league is massive. Every time I win, I get like, I feel like 5% progress. All right, next game I'll do a speedling opener. Are you doing bronze to masters? Bronze. I'm doing bronze to GM for every race. Right now we're doing Zerg Diamond 3. Honestly, guys, I might even just do just Diamond 3 Zerg today and then stop. And then I'll do like maybe Terran Diamond 3 tomorrow. This is taking forever. If I do all 3 races today, I think my stream would be like 15 hours long today. I feel like each one's gonna take like 5 hours. We've been streaming for 3 hours and 20 minutes. It's kind of crazy. It's a long time. Alright, it's Protoss. Electro fun. Well, this time we'll do a speeding opener with our build. Our build. Yeah. Can you just do all Zerg to Diamond 1? I'll eventually get there. But, eventually. 940 viewers, dude? Is that how many we have right now? I haven't even been looking. That's actually fucking awesome. No, it's 840. I just moused over it. That's pretty sweet, though. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys like the stream, don't hesitate to hit that follow button. Much love, guys. Maybe you're playing too macro. I do mix some all-ins here in the games, but it's not about how I'm not trying to make it like how fast I can get GM. It's about just physically trying to teach you guys how to play effectively. It's just that I'm realizing I'm not going to be able to do more than one promotion probably today because this is going to take a while. Yo, thank you very much for the sub. Najix Lamau. Laughing my ass off, Najix. Thank you, dude. Welcome to the V fam. I just won a game. Thanks to watching your stream. Queens are good units. Sick, dude. Nice. Well done. Well done, bro. Okay, so look at this guy's build. Do you see this? This is vulnerable, is what I'll say. 100%, this is now vulnerable. Don't... If you ever see a Protoss do this as an opener, okay? You can open up with a speed link timing and possibly do some serious damage. He is gonna, it looks like he's gonna try to start walling off his natural here. We'll watch and see what he does exactly, how fast he walls that ramp off. He's not walling it off yet. There's a stalker now. Well, there's something interesting about this map too. It's that these debris, these rocks, they're actually air blockers. They block air vision. So what we're gonna do is I've drawn my natural to 8 drones, okay? 8 drones, and I drawn my main to 16, and I have 1 on gas still. I'm actually doing a link timing right now because we saw this. This is an opportunity right here to get some serious damage done. So I'm gonna ling up to like probably 45 supply or so. 40, 45, 46, somewhere in there is fine. And we're gonna poke his ramp right when ling speed finishes. Right about, like right now. We're about here, and we're done making lings. Everything now we make is drones. It's open. So we're gonna wait for a second till a little more lings get here, and now we can surround. Keep in mind, I am making drones right now. I'm not making lings. Like, this is gonna do whatever it's gonna do. It might win the game, but it's gonna do whatever it's gonna do, and I'm gonna prepare for a follow-up if I somehow don't kill him. Like, what if he has an oracle and it cleans my lings up, or what if he blocks this off later? He could do a lot of things, but for now, we're just going for probes because he opened his base. Now we can go for probes again. Don't waste time. Kill the adepts first, and then go for probes. We can surround them. Now we're going for probes, and we're still injecting in the meantime, and we're making drones. Drones is how we're going to guaranteed get a massive lead in the game, and it ended up winning. So it ended up killing him and working out. But if we didn't end the game yet, we have a situation now where we have 8 drones in production and we have 39 current drones. And just before we killed his main base, it was already in a situation where, or this is right when it starts. This is why you have to wall against Zerg. Because if a Zerg sees that you have an opening in your wall and they go, fuck it, let's attack, this happens. And now, as soon as we start hitting the main base, if we go for, like right now, again, there's only 2 adepts defending the probes right now. And let's just say, instead of these gates being here, let's say they were in a wall, okay? And this mineral line was actually completely blocked in. And there was only 1 opening right there for like adepts to be in the way. And let's just say, hypothetically, I couldn't actually kill these probes. I would still get such a massive lead from this, because all these lings that I have that are already across the map, which is, this is it. I have 22 lings. These lings could then go, all right, let's just turn around and kill the Nexus. And it turns into a 1 base Protoss versus a 3 base Zerg. Because again, in production, we have drones being made constantly. And we're, not only are we killing his army, but we're also killing his economy. So if we somehow don't win here, we're going to win in like 3 minutes or 5 minutes from now. Be guaranteed. Because our economy is going to be tripling his. Which is not, that's going to be a situation where I can hit like 130 supply when the Protoss is at like 60. But obviously he ends up dying because the probes, there's no way he can defend it right now. The probes try to fight, they all die. So that was a response to scouting nothing here, and then further in scouting, oh, he's got gates. Multiple gates and a core in the main base. That's, I wouldn't say it's necessarily greedy to do that, but it kind of sounds like it. Like, the way I see that, as looking at that, if I was Protoss, the only way I could justify building like that is, I don't want to run my probe all the way down to the ramp because I'm going to lose more mining time. I'm just going to build my pylon right next to the Nexus and build my gates there, so I don't lose that much mining time. That's the only fucking advantage that that gives you. You lose like 1 probe's mining time for a little bit to run all the way to the ramp and build stuff there, which is way more worth it because then you don't die like that. We'll do another speed link opener because this game
Can I get one of them business cards signed when we eat far at HSC 20? Vegas, baby.
I might have new ones by then, dude. I'll probably give them out. Well, yeah, if that situation happens, let's do it. Let's do it. Thank you very much, Kokuma, for the bits, dude. We'll do another speed link opener because that one kind of ended fast last game. And we'll read his build again. We'll try our best to use interpretation of what we know so far. You know, be like, okay, this is what we could do. So we go 17 hatch, 17 gas, or sorry, 17 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool. These next 2 drones, after we build the hatch, can just rally over here. And the first one makes a gas, the second one makes a pool. Did you go to Homestar Cup or are you going to the next one? I never confirmed that I'm going to anything. But I said going to, if Homestar Cup happens in Vegas, which I don't know if it truly is, but Kokuma says it is. But if it happens in Vegas, that would be cool, and I would like to go to that. That sounds pretty sweet. But I didn't guarantee that I'll be there because I'm not gonna say that because if I happen to end up not being there, I don't want to disappoint people. So I never truly said yes, that's happening. I gotta be careful with things I say. Like that. But if the stars align and we're gonna go, that'd be fucking fun. That'd be really fun. Dude, just go. Well, I might be in Australia. Just throwing, that's why I'm throwing that out there. I'm not gonna end my trip in Australia early to go to Homestar Cup and then go back to Australia. That is expensive as hell. Okay, I don't know what that is. What the hell is this? Okay, he has no natural. He has nothing in the main. Okay, now we're starting to worry a little bit. No ramp, no nothing. I'm saving larva now. Okay, he's got a core there. Take 2 drones off. Okay, it's a proxy. So this is why we're saving drones. This is so weird. Run our drones around if we can a little bit. These are queens. Can run the queen around a little bit. Thank you, Livy, for the raid, by the way. The Livy raid! Keep making lings, guys. We're actually in a really good spot right now. We can send our queens back to inject now. Take a 3rd queen. And the zealots came from here. So logically, we can assume proxy gates are here. Or maybe over here. But I'm going to go here first. You can assume that, right? Because the zealots came from the top. There you go. We found it. Paying attention to little details is important. Why don't you make a roach horn or a spine?
Yeah.
We don't need it right now because, as you can see, we're fine with the lings here. We're about to have, since we have speed really early, we're gonna have a big swing here of being able to break him. I would 100% recommend going spines if I was gasless, but I'm not gasless this time. We saved larva to make lings to deal with this. So when he pushes into my natural, let's do this. Watch. We'll have the queens go first. Tank for a second. Well, the queen's taking 1. That helps. The queen's never gonna die, but that makes 1 less zealot being able to hit my lings. So it makes lings last longer. Things like that. Like having your queens tank a bit actually helps a ton in situations like that. And then you can have your lings just kill quicker. You can kill this pylon, and then the game's over. But yeah, it's since we opened speedlings and since we scouted there was no natural, I saved larva. I actually saved larva. I went, okay, you got nothing here and you got nothing here. Let's save some larva, guys, because something's awry here. Something's amiss. And you can just make queens and lings in that situation and hold if you're if you already have a lot of lings going when by the time the zealots get there. Yo, Livy, thank you for the raid. Hopefully the stream went well. That's a really early stream. My stream's been running kind of shitty today. I don't know if her stream's been having the same problem. Like, I've been having some lag spikes. But thank you for the raid. Welcome everyone from the Beehive. Welcome, guys. Happy to have you joining us. No spines or banes. Banes, definitely not. Spines would be useful if I did not have a lot of early speedlings. Why are you punishing diamond players? It's bronze to GM. Bronze to GM. I need to say this publicly. I love you. I love you too, JerJam. Thank you, dude. Are you going to play other races today or just Zerg till Masters? Honestly, I might do... I'm not going to do Zerg till Masters. I might do Zerg until Diamond 2 and then do a different race. Or I might just do Zerg until Diamond 2 and that's it. This league, guys, I'm only like 60% of the way there and I've already been streaming for 3.5 hours. And my stream started today at the start of Diamond 3. Like, these leagues are huge. Alright, we're against another Zerg. So we're scouting right here. This is a perfect spot to scout on this map in ZVZ. Towards the ramp middle area. This area. Right there. Somewhere in here. This area. This box. If you click anywhere in that circle, or this trapezoid, you're good. Alright, we'll send my drone down to my natural to expand. This map is a bit weird. Some Zergs likes to not build a natural at here, and then instead they build it here, and it kind of messes with the scouting of your overlord. But our second overlord is going to go like this, okay? Well, first of all, we're going to take our gas like we do always. 17, 18, 17. Second overlord, we go like this. Go down to the bottom, hold shift, and click like right there. So it goes along the entire path. So we'll see lings coming down this way if he chooses to do that. But now this first overlord, it's a big one. It's a big deal. We're making drones while we're looking at this, by the way. I'm still making drones, as you can see my money up here. We see he expanded. And his expansion, you can do this. You can line up your hatchery timing. I have 820 hit points. He has 760. His hatchery is slightly delayed over mine, but not by much. So most likely this drone just got here a tad bit late, but he went hatchery first, because it's very close to mine. If, however, this hatchery was at like 500 health less than mine, then I'd be more concerned. I'd be like, oh, okay, we might be getting ling pressured really fast. Because this guy might have gone for really fast speedlings. Now we can keep making drones for a second here. And now we can move our overlord down and see, like, do you have a third? No, he doesn't. You can always confirm. Some people play really crazy. They just make triple hatchery. But we confirmed he doesn't. So let's move this overlord kind of like over here. And this next overlord is going to take the spot of like right here. So now we can see all exits of his base without in range of being killed by by a queen with our overlord. So we're good. Now we can make a couple lings. We can take one drone off of gas. And we can get ready to build a baneling nest. If you're really not safe about Ling Bane Micro, if you don't feel safe, make a spine. I tell you what, this game, I'll show you. I'll just make a spine. This is what you would do if you don't feel safe about it. You just start a spine crawler. Like when you're starting the baneling nest. Anything before that's too early if your opponent goes for a hatchery first. But this spine will finish by the time his speed is done if he rushes me with mass lings. Now we can start a third queen. And when we start a third queen, we can also start a third hatch. We can bring it like around this supply if we take a spine. 36 supply. We can be like, let's go. Let's go take that third hatch. That's a lot of lings, right? That's a lot of lings, guys. So let's go ahead and go back home now. And let's start making lings as well. That's a lot of lings, guys. We're getting all in right now. So, if you're not confident in Ling Bane Micro, This is perfect. Because now you have a spine to fall back on. He got speed before me. He also got more lings a lot sooner than I did. So this guy is completely all in. And we're playing the game safe. Now we're going to use this spine, make a couple of Banes. And we're just going to make more lings to help. The spine is taking a lot of damage while my lings kill off of it. And we're fine. Oh, good stuff. That would have been harder to micro that if I did not have a spine. If I did not have a spine, that would have been harder to micro because I would have had to have run around and make Banes and do all that kind of stuff. But because I made a spine, it was really easy. Now here's how we're microing this. We're making drones while doing this, by the way. Here's how we're microing this. We're also going to do this. We're going to make a roach horn, an evo chamber, and a gas. This is the macro part of it, okay? It's important. Drones and future production. Now how we're microing this is we have Banes in one group and Lings on the other. Lings are on A move, Banes are on actual move command until he comes in close like that, and then we toggle it to A move. That's all it is. If he brings in little bits, we A move. Banes are back on move command. A move the Lings. If he brings in all of it, we move them back, A move the Banes. Sounds complicated a little bit. I'm trying to talk really fast through micro there. But it's actually not that complicated if you do it a few times. So you'll be like, wow. This is so easy if I just use 2 control groups for Lings and Banes. Now, we're getting overpowered here. So instead of letting my whole army die, let's instead run around. Let's just run around. Because you know what this does? See these eggs in my control group right now, guys? You see these? What I'm doing right now is I'm buying myself a shitload of time to prepare a defense against what this guy's doing. And what he's doing is he's trying to not let his base die. So he's like, you're not getting in my base. But now we have Banes going. We're running around. We're running around. He's continuing to all-in me. Now we'll go back home because now, by the time he gets here, I have Banes. So I'm totally fine now. And at this point, now we can be like, alright, let's go ahead and re-add in some, or not re-add. Let's start adding in some roaches to my build here. And we can rally point my hatcheries like right in front. And now we have roaches. And just to be on the safe side, check this out. Let's leave 2 Banes right there. Let's leave 2 Banes right there. And we take them out of our group. They're not even in our group anymore. And we're going to make a round of roaches. We're going to eject our hatcheries. And now let's move across the map again. So now what's going to happen here is if my opponent wants to attack me, we have Banes that will just literally blow him up on the ramp. You can also move the spine a little bit more forward. We have Banes that will blow him up if he attacks me. If he doesn't attack me, we can make drones, which we made a few roaches, by the way. Just a few. We made 8 in total, just so you guys know. This is just in case he also hits my third. These roaches can help a lot. Okay, cool. He ran into that. But if this guy attacks me, we're safe. We're solid here with the roaches and the queen. If he attacks me here, Banes will blow him up. If he runs even further into my main, Banes will blow him up. But now, same thing. We do the same thing again, guys. Same thing again. We bought ourselves time. We bought ourselves time to take a third base and saturate it. So now my opponent here, the Zerg we're against, is in a situation where he's playing against 1, 2, 3 saturated bases, and we have most of our gases. You don't need all of our gases that fast, that badly, because it's really low gas tech units. We're going roaches and Lings and Banes. It's really, really straightforward units that are cheap. But now, we put ourselves in a position here through the early game about how it all went, where this guy, I would say this guy made probably 4 times the amount of Lings that we did every time we had a little bit of a skirmish. But the trade-off was I made a few Banes, which blew up a lot of Lings. And if you think about Zerg in the sense of larva, okay? Think about Zerg in the sense of larva. If this guy loses 10 larva worth of Lings, which is 20 Lings, to 1 Baneling, that's half a larva versus 10 larva. What happens to the other 9.5 larva that are missing now for me that he made that I didn't? That's drones for me, because I've been greedy. So it's really, really, really good for me to get a lead like I have right now. That's how you gain leads, is you play a little bit more efficient than your opponent. And we've done this with a safe overall build. What if he goes mutas, or is it not possible? He's made a lot of Lings, so even if he did go mutas, it would be a really small amount. And even if I have no defense, I'd be very confident that I could lose 1 base and protect 2 more and I would kill him at the same time, and he would lose the game. If he goes mutas, how would he stop me from attacking him? How would he stop this army? He's not going to ever have enough mutas to stop this. This is going to be a march of death right now. We'll go ahead and push when we max out. Or as soon as we supply block, because I actually don't have an Overlord in production. Okay, let's go ahead and push right now. Here we go. So we'll watch the difference in supply right now would be my opponent probably has 110 supply ish. I have 200. And we'll rewind the replay to see what it is exactly, but that's what I would guess. We're A moving. As soon as the lings are dead, we can stutter forward. Move forward, attack. Move forward, attack. Move forward, attack. Make roaches. Move forward, attack. That's enough. We're like deep in the army right there. We can just let him go. Move forward, attack. Move forward, attack. And then this is before the fight happened. He actually had more than I thought. He had 140. But as you can see here, he's got double upgrades going. He's just started double upgrades. We have an upgrade already done, and we have a level 2 upgrade already going as well. So we have a minor upgrade advantage right now. In terms of drones, we have a little bit of a drone advantage. The big difference here is we have the exact same amount of drones on minerals, but I have 3 gases over what he does. Because we took leads early on that allowed me to have more drones. And then, you know, finally he has a situation here where this +1 is actually really important, by the way. The situation is he has 23 lings and 48 roaches, which means 2/3 of his army is basically Zerglings. And if you guys didn't know this, a roach, as soon as it has +1 versus a Zergling that has no armor upgrade, the roach will now 2-shot a Zergling instead of 3-shot a Zergling. So lings die substantially faster. So if we look at what's going to happen here, he's going to fight me with his whole army. Okay, it's going to happen. I'm probably going to lose like 3 or 4 roaches, and the time it takes him to lose 48 Zerglings. And the big reason of that is because I have +1. So watch my supply and watch his supply. His will dump really hard. Mine will lose probably 10. So all his lings are dead, and the only real roaches I've lost have been the roaches that have been stuck in the front of the concave against these roaches. All the lings really do is they buy time for the roaches behind them to do damage. But what he's done is he's done too much of a larva inefficient build to where he's never going to beat a maxed roach army with, for one, he set himself up poorly because he made too many lings early. But then he also made too many lings anyways. Again, if he was maxed, okay, let's say he was maxed, he would still lose because he made too many lings in the fight that are too larva inefficient. So it doesn't matter if he's maxed or not. The fact that he's not means I steamroll him. But if he was, and he made that many lings as well, he would still lose because it doesn't make sense. Because roaches trade way better supply efficiently against lings. So the roaches are just like, even though a roach is only worth 2 supply, with the amount of army that he made, it's almost kind of like my roaches are worth like 3 or even 4 supply per roach. Because it's so much more effective than it actually is because of his composition. And now we'll back it up for a second. This is the true reason why we won this game. Right here. Look at the income tab. So we're doing more of a scout. We're not all-inning him. We're just doing more of a scout. And we're doing it safely because we make a baneling nest. And we're the guy who, quote-unquote, doesn't feel comfortable with micro, so we made a spine. And then our opponent, on the other side of things, he went for speedling all-in. He mined enough gas for speed, and then he took the drones off the gas, sent them to the natural, and he went full ling production, just mass lings. All day, all lings, for now, to see if he could just kill me, see if he could get a free win. But because we were prepared, and we had, not only that we have 3 queens, so we have 2 queens and a spine at the natural plus lings, we overpower him because we have enough defensively. And then it turns into a situation where we don't just make mass lings forever now. We make lings right this second because we need to. But as soon as this is over, watch the production here. I go right back into making drones. And I don't know if he makes lings or not, but he was definitely far behind. He makes more lings. We make... In a second here. We're supply blocked at the moment. We make drones again. We already know we're fine. Because these Banes are worth so much more value than the equivalent larva worth of lings, which is... half a larva is a Bane. And the one Bane is not worth half a larva. It's worth kind of like 10 larva in mass ling battles like that. These Banes are getting amazing trades. And the other thing too, last thing I'll say before we move on. Not only do the Banes themselves not only get good trades in this kind of a situation, but they force good trades with my Zerglings. Because there's no other, if I did not have these Banelings, there would be no reason why this Zerg player would take 2 or 3 lings at a time and just suicide them into my army and be like, hopefully we detonate something. He would never do that. He would never trickle his lings off and lose a little bit here and there. That's not going to happen. So these lings are like magnets for the lings. Like, yeah, come here. So I just kill little bits, and then he finally engages with everything, and then I kill a lot of stuff. So these Banes are actually being effective even though they're not blowing anything up. As long as you micro a little bit. So they create a situation where you just have so much free larva to drone with. So Banes are kind of required if you want to have an economy. Unless you want to play a risky game and you might die to something like what he did. And again, you can see the drone difference. See how he's still making mass lings because he keeps losing them? And see how we have now almost double his drone count? It's a big difference. Yo, I have a noob question. Do you physically have to A-click enemy Banes, or do you move and then deselect Zerglings? They will target Banes. So if you just move your lings at his stuff, if I'm the guy going mass lings, and I just shift-click out 3 of my lings and I just run them towards his army, it's going to attack the nearest target, which most of the time will be Zerglings, because Zerglings run faster than Banelings. So it'll do literally nothing. You have to physically grab... or you have to physically target his Banes for your lings to attack his Banes for that to work like that. Which takes more effort, more micro. You know, it's harder. Alright, next game I'll do a gasless game. We'll do the Bronze Jam build again. Or the bronze to platinum build. But the diamond version of it. Ugh. Hey. ViBE, I saw the 5 a.m. stream work before. Or the 5 a.m. stream before work. What happened last night? Yeah, it was pretty long.
Thanks again for these 6 series, ViBE. I never donate, but I really appreciate the work you're putting in.
Yo, Chunda Muffin, thank you very much, dude. I appreciate... Oh, my back. Appreciate the $10 holla, man. That's very generous of you, dude. Thank you very much. And I'm glad you're liking the content. Fuck yeah. Alright, so we're gonna do the this is against a Terran this time. We'll do this is the bronze to platinum build I've been showing everyone. But again, it's like it's more like a diamond spin on it. Does ViBE stream every night? Most of the time. I take 1 day off a week. Oops, this gas was a little too early. I'll actually saturate it a little bit later now, because it was a little too early. I'll saturate with excess drones. Oh, that's fine. Oops. Alright, so now...
Yeah.
Yo. Jumplin Jack. or Jumpin' Jack. That's an I. Jumpin' Jack. Thank you for the sub, dude. I appreciate the prime. Welcome to the V-Fam, my dude. Alright, so we made 4 lings. This is the diamond version of this build, guys. The higher league you get, the more likely you're going to see people go Reaper like all the time. So if you don't get lings, you're going to have some annoyed drones, or you're going to have some dead drones. Now we're scouting all the way to his base because if we did not see the... we'll back up the creep with this. We did not see a fact the barracks building anything yet. It wasn't lighting up like it is now. Because now it's building something. So we just decided to commit further into his base. Now we see he's going for a factory. We can even scout his gases at this point. There's no chance my Overlord dies. Because this barracks is busy building a reactor. And that thing takes a long time. And he's got double gas. So most likely, I doubt it's going to be Marines. He might make Marines just to get my Overlord out of his base. We'll see in a second if he lifts off right away or if he starts building stuff. Now we got a tech lab. Okay. Interesting. Okay, it is going to be Marines now. He's committing to a tech lab on the factory. So now we'll fly out. We still won't die. We just basically saw a Terran who's got a shitload of gas. Lots of gas. This kind of rules out any build that's heavy mineral. Like, for instance, if this guy were to go Hellbats, probably not going to happen because this guy has so much gas. It's probably going to be something more like Marine tank, or maybe even we leave his base now and he throws down 2 starports. And he's like, we're going Banshees. It could be a lot of things, but it's really heavy gas. It's the primary information that we just got from that. So what we can do as Zerg is we're going into our roaches like we normally do. We don't have to worry about real types of pressure other than maybe a little bit of harass. BC, it could be BC as well. It very well could be. That's a new build that exists in the meta right now. It could be BC. Anything with heavy gas is what it could be. So what we're going to do is we're going to saturate our natural fully. We're going to get roach speed. We're going to get +1 weapons. We're going to keep our creep going. We're taking a 3rd base if I didn't already say that. And now that we're fully saturated on the natural, we're going to make roaches. Make a round of roaches. And we're going to poke his base with this. And we're going to go on the minimum side of this. Because heavy gas with the tech lab on this might also mean he's going siege tanks. So I don't want to commit to a lot of roaches. I don't want to go mass roach and be like, oh, he's got tanks. That was a mistake. We're going for a little bit of roach, which it's a multi-purpose thing. Number 1, it defends us from any weird-ass harass that could happen. And number 2, it could potentially break his base and screw him over if he's really, really, really awkwardly aggressive. And finally, behind this, we're going to decide if we're going to move out or not by scouting his base with an overseer, because it's really going to truly confirm if it's a good or a bad idea to push. So let's go. Let's see what he's doing. Double Banshees. We called it. That's the first thing I said it might be. Because it's just weird. So we are going to push him now with our roaches. We're going to keep these Banshees... Number 1, we're going to keep these Banshees defensive. Because now we're attacking him. And behind this, we're making mass drones. And we're also going to make extra spores. And we can also start a Hydroden right now as well. Oh, here you go. Spore. 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 We can micro this a little bit. Let's actually focus fire a depot down and get into his base. Kill some SCVs. We're now disrupting his economy really hard. This is now really bad for the Terran. Let's actually add another spore here, and we can take another base even. Start a 4th base. We don't have to saturate it, but look what we're doing here. This is incredibly annoying for Terran. This is going to... I know he's going Banshees, and this is going to say, okay, use your Banshees to defend. Come. You can go into an Evo chamber now. So, okay, hold on. He's actually going BCs. I was gonna say, every second that goes by where he doesn't actually go Banshee is making me think there actually is a chance where he could go PCs. But the reason why this is weird is because you can't make double battlecruiser the entire time. You can't physically afford that. So, and now the BC's dead because he overcommitted it. So you can't physically afford to produce out of 2 starport tech labs the entire time. So he's not going to be making BCs the whole time. why I thought that maybe it wasn't a possibility. But he did, and that's it. So let's go ahead and add in one more spore now behind every mineral line, because I'll probably do that again. Let's also add in a spire. It's teleporting somewhere. There it is. Another BC in my natural now.
Our drones are under attack.
Move our queen back for a second. Kite it a little bit. Taking drones. We can actually just run our drones away for just a sec. I can send them right back. And now we have spores everywhere to deal with this. And we still will make... Our roaches are still here, by the way. Super annoying. And we're still making drones. And that's another dead BC. So now we can take a moment to fix my economy everywhere that has a problem. Which now every base, if you look at it, every base is now fully saturated. Except for that, it needs one more. And we're good. We spent that whole time just basically making drones. He's got another BC. Okay, here we go. Send my my hydras over there this time. Now we can make overlords. More hydras over here. We can make overlords and keep making hydras for now. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do now. If you look at my army, I just said we're gonna keep making hydras now, but we've already done that. Okay, we already have a lot of hydras. What we're gonna do now instead is, because this guy has continuously made army, thrown it away, made army, thrown it away, made army, thrown it away. It follows that rule we just talked about earlier, where if my opponent plays to harass my drones, and we have enough army to stabilize, we make drones until we're at a good economy. And he's done that. That's his third battlecruiser that's died, by the way. That's a lot of BCs to just throw away. And we also, not only that, but we also fucked up his natural because we opened up with the roach build. Because we made him lift off and run around with his SCVs. So we're going to put a couple spores in my third base to continue to prepare a defense for this. And look at my drone count. We're at 83. Now, let's go ahead and explode on drones. We can take another base, but we're going to explode. Our supply is going to explode now on Hydra. I think I said that wrong, but yeah. Hopefully you guys get the point. We're rich. There's no way he can keep up with me now because we've dealt with his build in a efficient way. It was a tech build and we were greedy. And we didn't even have the defense ready when he first got here, but we reacted by making spores and a few extra queens. And then we were fine. Now we can get a metabolic boost. We can get a hive. And if we want to, we can do this as well. Let's make a baneling nest. If we want to, we can go Ling Bane Hydra. If we want to, we can go into Broodlords. If we want to, we could probably just go mass Hydra. We can do a lot of things right now. The world is our oyster. We're rich. The biggest thing we should do, if you want to know, like, what you know, what's the most intelligent way to play the game out from here? 100% the way to do it is to scout any potential third base from the Terran and not let it happen.
Mutation.
This seems like the obvious one, right? Because he's got a sensor tower like right there. It seems like that's probably where the third is. Because you can see the center of the circle is where the sensor tower is. So it's like right here-ish. And there's probably a third there. So what we're gonna do now is we're scouting the sides of the map and let's go get ready to break this. We can also take care of my drones. Anything that oversaturates, we can move it around. And let's see if he's got a third here. Yep. He's also got Tank Marine. Okay. So that might not be the best fight for my exact army, just pure Hydra. Let's go ahead and actually add in some Banelings with not metabolic boost, with centrifugal hooks. Some movement speed Banelings. Oh, he's taking 2 bases, guys. He's trying to be extra greedy. That's not going to happen. That shit doesn't fly. So here's what's going to happen now for us. What's going to happen for us now is we're going to go for a Baneling timing on his base with Hydroling Bane. And we can rotate out of this because this guy's going into PF Tank Turtle Terran. Let's go into a anti-turtle Zerg style. We'll do a first timing with Broodlords. This is going to probably do some serious damage to him. We can prepare for another random BC by going triple spore there. But we'll go into a maybe this is going to kill him, maybe it won't situation right here of lots of Banes going up on his third base. But if we don't break him, we can remax with Hydra, Ling Bane, and Broodlord as well. We can just add broods in, and that guaranteed will break him. But we're maxed now, so we might as well try. Alright, what's my Baneling speed at? It's about then. Let's just wait on it. Might as well wait on it. There's no reason not to. It's like 3 seconds from done. Okay, now let's go for it. Let's kind of spread my army up a little bit. Creep. We can creep one more time before this happens. And we can go for it. If this does not break him, we can spread my army out a little bit so the Banes can go through. Yeah, you can see like, okay, this is kind of a choke point. You're like, oh man, it's not going great. It's kind of a meat grinder right there. We can make more Lings to reinforce because we lost most Lings there. Like a lot of Ling and a lot of Bane died. Some Hydras died, sure, but a lot of Ling and Bane died. It looks like this Terran's super fortified on that spot. Let's go ahead and wrap our army around the other way. Maybe, before we go into sensor tower range, maybe we can get a nice little bit of an attack here. Maybe. We can try. We'll see what happens. We're going right now. If this does not break him either, we can have a follow-up. We're not all in with this. We have a follow-up. Broodlords. Look, this is going way better. Let's focus on the 4th. The actual planetary. And we killed it. We don't have to fight anymore. Because we had like a mission. It's to break the economy of the Terran. And we fulfilled that. So we can back up. Because the only thing that's going to happen now if I stay longer is I'm going to have my army fighting off creep inefficiently, and I'm going to bleed it all out, and it's going to be a big waste of my money. I already did what was important. Now let's go ahead and do the same exact thing, but this time we have Broodlords. And you guys can see the difference between what it looked like the first time when we attacked here and when we have Broodlords. Do my ejects, do my ejects, do my ejects. Transfer my drones around, get my saturation really good. Beautiful. Keep upgrades going. We can start another carapace for the air. Rotate a drone. We can do some gas. Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff we could be doing. Alright, so the Broodlords are over here right now. And we're maxed again. Upgrade. Okay, we got another upgrade going. We're good. Let's just go for it. Broodlords, a move towards the area. Go, go, go. Ground army, stay near it. We can make some more Banes too, so we can have a little more Banes than we currently do. We only have like 6. Broodlords are on a move. Now we can back the Broodlords up for a second because he's kind of like really pushing hard right now. Broodlords can go back on a move. Right. Now we can just notice how he's not congesting the choke point anymore. Now let's push with everything. We can remax now with Hydra, Ling Bane. So it looks like the Terran survives. He doesn't die here. That was way more efficient than the last time we fought there, though. Okay, we can attack with our Broodlords a couple times, try and keep him alive. But the big picture here is during that fight, we didn't do nothing. We made units the whole time, which is why if you look at my supply, it's already really high again. Because now look what happens the next time we break it.
Mineral field depleted.
We have a brand new big army. We make more Banes. As soon as these new Banes finish, we can go. We can inject one more time just to make sure everything's good. We can look at our bases one more time to make sure I'm not oversaturated like that. Be like, let's go somewhere else that needs some drones. And now let's do it again. Let's attack him again. And while my Broodlords are going in again, we can make more Banes.
Mineral field depleted.
And we'll be maxed again. You can start another upgrade. I heard just mutation complete. There you go. Upgrades are going. And now this time, we can attack forward with a new maxed army that's not going to be fighting a maxed Terran anymore, and this is going to be a steamroll. We can move in with our Hydras a little bit so they don't get congested so hard. Make more army during the process. But what we just did there is we just broke a Terran Economically. We just economically broke a Terran. And the reason why this happens is because he opened in the not most efficient way. He opened up with BCs. If you guys remember. Go back to the BC part of this game. He opened with BCs. He harassed some drones. But at the end of the day, let's actually go back to that part. Let's look at how much drones I have compared to how much workers he has after the BCs. So we'll look at supply. Supply is close. There's another BC. This is the last one. This is his final BC. So all said and done. BCs are now dealt with. Resources lost. We've lost a little bit more than he has. So if you just looked at like literally these kinds of numbers, you might think, okay, yeah, the Terran has actually killed more than the Zerg has. The Terran probably is ahead. Like, he's probably doing better than the Zerg. If we just look at that only, you're like, okay, Terran seems like he's doing pretty good. He's being more efficient. But if you look at the worker count, we have almost 70 drones compared to 40 of the SCVs to the Terran. And if we look at the resource income values here, even though we've lost 425 more resources than the Terran, we're mining effectively about like 1,100 resources a minute over what he has. So he's made the lead of 425 minerals or 425 resources over 8.5 minutes against me in terms of resources lost. But in terms of resources gained, I'm mining 1,100 minerals a minute over him. It adds up really fast. And it is going to keep going because not only right now, not only do I already have a overall better lead here in the overall economy, but because he's also thrown away so many BCs and invested into so many BCs, he's opened up an opportunity for me to, in a second here, you'll see it, to slam out a drone line because I'm like, oh, we're fine. I'm not even worried about losing my 4th base, which is going to be any second now. Whenever the larva... There you go. 14 drones. 14 beautiful drones. And when they finish, worker count now is 81 drones versus 44 SCVs. It's not even close at this point. As soon as these guys start mining my 4th base fully, because some of them are being rotated over because they just got built. As soon as this thing is fully saturated, it's going to be a very big lead for Zerg in this situation. And now the Terran's resorting to Planetary Fortress expands because he knows he's defensive. And since he's defensive, we're going to prepare for an in-game scenario. We don't know that he's making planetaries yet. But we're preparing for the possibility because we know we're ahead. And it actually ends up happening. We end up getting to a position where we can't break in with Hydra Ling Bane because he has all these tanks and a choke point with planetary. And we're like, nah. Not a great idea. So we attempt to do one timing because broods aren't ready yet, but then we switch into it. And it's just a game of economy, of supply. So I'm gonna go ahead and like ×8 this shit and just watch the supply up here on the top. It's gonna get more and more one-sided every time. This first fight, he's down by almost like 30-ish. We'll see when the fight actually starts. Fight's starting now. He's actually down by 20 supply. Next time we fight, he'll probably be down by 40. And the next time we fight, he'll probably be down by 70. Because he can't keep up. So that was a 20 supply disadvantage for Terran. Now let's see the next one. That was about a 20 supply disadvantage again. It was roughly the same. He didn't lose too much the first time. I guess we never really killed his army. I kind of just killed like things on the important things like the planetary. This time it's a maxed out Terran versus a maxed out Zerg. And now, if we look at the banks here, Terran's bank is pretty much gone, and he's not near maxed. He can't be, because he has to have time to generate more money again. Zerg is maxed with a bank. So it's just kind of how it goes. Like, if you can control their economy, you can definitely control the game and the outcome of everything. Because the less your opponent has, the more powerful your army is. It's kind of like the way StarCraft works, in my opinion, is it's kind of like every battle you have in this game is kind of like a DPS race. It's like who can kill the other guy faster. So if you can actually put them in a position where they just can't make as much as you do, you automatically win the DPS race because you have more killing theirs faster. And the faster you kill their army, the less DPS that's going on to yours. Alright, this time we'll go... I'll do another gasless build, wall off, because it's a Zerg this time now. I haven't done it against Zerg, I don't think. I've done speedlings against Zerg every time. This is getting fairly complicated. That's what I mean. Well, that's what I kept it real simple, right? In bronze to platinum. Bronze all through bronze and platinum. I kept it real simple. It was really easy peasy. When we get to Diamond League, micro becomes a factor in StarCraft. So now there's a lot more complexity to the game overall. There's a lot more things you got to think about. So that's why I'm telling people, like, this game is actually incredibly complex. So trying to do all of it at once when you're in fucking, like, Gold League is not good. You're making the game, like, super hard for yourself. Did he already get to Diamond 2 Terran? No. This is actually... Every race I have is Diamond 3, and Zerg is the first one I've been working on to go to Diamond 2. When your shit is more shit, it beats less shit. Basically, yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. Are you gonna be Masters 3 tonight? No, I'm sorry. The leagues are way too big, guys. If I was gonna say, alright guys, we're gonna go all the way to Masters 3, I would be streaming for the next 9 hours or 8 hours on top of what I'm already doing. Because I'm giving explanation games. We're doing games in a way that I'm teaching people how to play, not just smashing kids. So these games take a little longer. And it takes, I'm averaging right now like 5 hours of promotion. At the pace we're going right this second. It's taking a while. Alright, my Overlord's way off. That was my bad. I don't actually know if he's cheesing me or not. So we're flipping a coin right now. Oh, I hope I'm not getting all in. Because my Overlord scouted the wrong way. Okay, he did not all in me. He's expanded. That's good. We're making drones right now, guys. Just drones. And Overlords, obviously. Drones? Drones and Overlords. Actually, no. I want that to be here. On this map, you want to actually build your Evo chamber. The way I just did it, you want to build it exactly where it is on the ramp, left 1. The reason why you do that is because you can put another one there, and it gives you this little block. We're getting all in right now too, so let's go and do that now. I just saw Lings on the minimap. Yo, move. Oh my god. Alright, so he's got 3 bases. He has Lings. We're gonna make a few roaches earlier than normal now because this guy's going pretty aggro. I normally would drone to 48 supply, but this is a big commitment. That's a big commitment to the Lings, guys. So we're gonna make we made like 5 roaches. And we're fine now. 5 roaches is enough. With a wall and queens, that's plenty to deal with this. Now we'll go back to drones until we're fully saturated on the natural. And oh god, what the fuck? That was not walled. That was really scary. This queen's not fat enough. We need to fatten her up. That was actually pretty scary. It almost was bad. I think my queen needed to be like right there, not where it was. I think it was like right there, so it was a little bit of an opening. Because look, if I have a drone try to run through it, it should block it. Yeah, it blocks it. So it was in a little bit of a wrong spot. We're good though. We're good. Crisis averted. Okay, so we're going to take a third base now, and we're going to start also spreading our creep a bit more. Spreading my main creep like this is anti-meta in the future. This is just overall map awareness. But also this one is also, again, you could say this one's anti-meta, because connecting your bases with creep is the biggest counter to meta. And I hope this guy goes meta, because I'll show you why. I'll show you why if he does. We can run our roaches back to a choke point. And I can run them forward to get them off the hatchery. Alright, let's go ahead and push. That's enough roaches. We have plenty. This guy also just lost a lot of lings, so that's again the golden rule of Zerg. Our opponent loses a big fight, we take a big round of drones. So now we're droning our third. And we go right to his expansion. And we're making drones in the meantime, guys. This looks like a great fight for me. I don't mind. We can pull my roaches back here a little bit. Kind of like hit this stuff a little. We're microing a little bit now. Grab these guys, move them around. Inject, inject, inject. And we can start working on his army again right here. Stutter step forward while making drones. Okay, he's running away, so we'll move back to the base. We'll go back to our base. And we'll continue upgrades. We'll make a Hydra Den. Continue the build, basically. And get this base going. Get another base going. Saturate that fully. Because we didn't lose this army. I did not lose this army, but we just did a shitload of damage to my opponent. So the best way to follow this up, where we're going to guaranteed win the game, is now going to be to go ahead and pull back. We don't have to be mindless with our army and be like, let's throw it away. We've already done a ton of damage, and behind this, we droned. So throwing the army away is probably not the best choice right now. So if we back up, we can make an Overseer aggressively, and we can now defend what is going to most likely be a counter timing, because he's like, oh, shit, I got to do something now. So well, backing up basically increases our odds to win the fight, because now we have defender's advantage after doing a lot of damage to him. We can pre-concave our roaches out a little bit, make our fight a little bit better if he comes straight from the front. And as soon as my overlords pop, we're making more and more and more army. Focusing more on roaches right now as well than hydras, because hydras aren't even upgraded yet really. There we go, there he is. We have a pre-concave, so we have a good engagement here. And we don't have to chase him. We can just chill for a second. We have every advantage right now, because we know he does not have a third. We can even scout his main right now and just confirm that we're not up against like mutas eventually or something like that. He's just making roaches, so no, we're not. This is a roach build. So now we're getting close to maxing out. We could totally add in some hydras now, because I'm not worried if he attacks me with roach or roach ravager or anything like that. I'm not worried about dying. There's no chance that happens, because like right here, all we gotta do is back up against the biles. We can go forward again. This army is pretty small compared to mine. It's all economy game. We move forward, attack. Move forward, attack. Move forward, attack. GG. And just to go back here for a second, the game honestly was kind of in a position with the build we chose. The game was in a position where our opponent was in a bad spot because of this part of the game right here. Look at the difference in our economies already. That's a big deal. For a second there, he had 22 drones versus 33. And that was going for a little while. Now he's catching up a little bit. But we've had more drones mining longer than he has. Which, watch the supply in just a second here. This is what kind of happens. If the economy is if the economy is like one-sided like this, where one guy is always really high compared to the other, the guy who's really high for a while is going to suddenly just start exploding in its supply. Because while this guy's trying to still catch up in drones, which are cheap in supply, this guy's actually pumping an actual real army. So the supply gets really ridiculous really fast. You can see the worker count right now is a massive difference. He's made a lot of lings. This right here is effectively doing nothing. It is effectively doing nothing. It's sitting in the middle of the map. This right here is my army that defends this cost efficiently. He spent, how many lings does he have? He spent 12 larvae. I think some lings might have died too, but it's actually 4 lings have died. So he spent, what is that? 14 larvae. He has spent 14 larvae on aggression early. And we have 5 roaches. We spent 5 larvae on defense about a full minute later after he made aggression. Because again, he has 28 lings in total basically, which is that's like, yeah, it's 14 larvae. 14 larvae out of his whole larva collection has been made into lings. So we've spent almost a third, not quite, but almost a third of the larva that he has. Basically 9 less. He doesn't have 32 lings, guys. What are you talking about? He's got 24. And then 4 died, which is 28. I don't know why people keep getting 32 from. Where's 32? Anyways. He spent a lot more larvae than me. That's me. I made 32. You made 24. Plus 4 that have died. Okay. Anyways, we have the difference is I spent 5 larvae in roaches, and the Zerg, the other guy, spent 14 in lings. So that's a 9 larva difference, which is making up for 9 drones, which is almost exactly perfect. We actually have 11 drones over our opponent right now, but it's close. So it's close. But there's also you can also account that there's also larvae sitting on the ground and stuff like that. That's whatever. But yeah, the 24 plus 4 equals 32. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm just gonna move on from that. But yeah.
Oh.
Double Dub Dota, thank you very much for the sub. We just have more larva spitting drones which cascades a lead, and we can just times 8 this shit, and you can see the supply difference. It starts cascading a big lead, which ultimately turns this into a situation where we can overpower our third base. And the reason why this happens so hard like this is because these roaches do not have movement speed. These roaches do have movement speed. So the blue roaches here, the speed roaches, can dictate where and when the fight happens. That's just how StarCraft works. If you have a unit that is faster than another unit, the faster unit can always choose where the fight happens if you understand that. And since we understand where the fight happens, we choose to take the fight whenever our opponent is not in the greatest position. We keep hitting him when he's not fully going to defend well. So if he's got a lot of units that are here right now, like a bunch of units right there, and it's scary, how about I just run up here and start killing drones and new roaches? Or if he's got, some units grouped up and I know I can win the fight, how about we just start chasing it down and killing it? Stuff like that. You can just choose where the fight happens, and the lead gets bigger and bigger and bigger throughout the whole game. And it gets crazy. It gets crazy, guys. It gets crazy. Frosting beard is the view getter. Yeah, we had a goal for 1K subs. We would dye my hair a rainbow and also my beard. The rainbow kind of bled out, and it's kind of 80s ice cream now. It's a good 80s ice cream Neapolitan thingy. Rainbow ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, Mr. Q. Mr. Q. Thank you very much for the gifted submarinos, my dude. Welcome, all you guys from the gift bomb. Welcome, welcome. Mr. Q, thank you very much, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Q. Do you build a third hatch if your opponent goes double Evo Roach Warren by 245? I mean, you can, if defensively, yes, you can. If you're not doing that build,
Yeah.
you can build a really fast hatch. We're going speedlink this time against Protoss. So I'm switching the builds up. We're not always doing the same thing. This is to cater to multiple playstyles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, boys. Okay, cannon rush me, maybe. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. I would love to get cannon rushed. Oh my god, never mind. I thought he. Oh, do it, do it,
Yeah.
please. Oh, come on. You know you want to. I'm taking the other gas if it is a cannon rush. If you see a Protoss, especially on a map like this, where there's a potential cannon rush that could happen, don't ever take the gas that can get killed. Because what could happen right now is he could build a cannon right here, and then he could leapfrog a cannon from here to cover a cannon here, and this cannon could kill my gas right there, which would suck. Okay, now that he took my gas, this makes me want to scout forward outside my base. Because now, I'm thinking I am getting cannon rushed, and I am. So he's actually doing it. Good for you, Protoss. Good for you. So this is getting a little weird. This type of a cannon rush is now awkward. Here's what we're gonna do, guys. Immediately, we're gonna start a Roach Warren. Immediately, we're gonna start 2 queens. And immediately, we're gonna start drones. More drones. And immediately, we're gonna pull 2 of my existing drones down to my natural. By the way, these cannons are not within range to hit my hatchery. That comes from experience, but they're not within range. That cannon is, but that cannon's also gonna get beaten on by my queens. So we're making Spine, Queen, and Roach Warren. That's our plan right now. We're gonna make roaches. And we're gonna pull my queens together. We're actually gonna send my queen back this way. And we're gonna start killing this pylon. Because if you think about it in like a sense of what can power what, this cannon is powered by that pylon. And this pylon cannot be covered by the cannon if I kill it from range. So we're gonna go and kill that. And as soon as we kill that, which is in like a couple seconds here, we're going to now rotate my spines forward like this. We're going to start injecting my hatcheries. And this whole time, guys, this entire time, I've been making drones. I made 3 roaches, which are now going to become 3 ravagers. But I have been making drones the whole time. A lot of people tend to freak out really hard against Cannon Rush. But this is the way I see it. This guy does not have a natural. He also has a ton of cannons in front of my base. That's a big investment. This guy is in a position where he's not going to be very wealthy. He's going to have no money. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to saturate my bases and I'm going to start corrosive-viling his cannons. Because you can corrosive-vile cannons outside of range of getting hit by cannons. And we're going to start now with extra minerals that we get or extra resources we get. Let's go ahead and start Ling Speed as soon as we can. Ling Speed. Now we can start gas number 2. Keep making overlords. We can even make another queen on my natural. And now let's re-rally both my hatcheries to like right here, and let's start making Zerglings. Still no natural. Let's scout to his main a little bit, see if he's even got a pylon up there, and then we'll shift click it back to the natural. Keep injecting, keep making overlords, keep doing all that good stuff. We're gonna attack that on my spine. Corrosive-vile the cannon up there again. And now finally we're gonna do one last round of units here before we take this fight. As soon as my overlord pops. We're kind of just like, what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep him off my hatchery, but we're not trying to run into cannons. That's the whole plan right now. We're gonna make like 5 roaches to make ravagers out of. Alright.
under attack.
And now if this guy commits his immortals like this, let's go do this right now. Let's just go ahead and surround these immortals. Alright, we can pull back. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Just keep doing what we're already doing. Keep making lings, and just keep making roaches. We can even make a macro hatch. We're crucifying the cannons exclusively as well. We are not crucifying the immortals. We will eventually overpower him because we just have so much more production than he does. He does not have enough to keep up with me. This build kills a lot of people, and it's because they overcommit early and they don't have enough to stop it. I feel like this was a little. This build's a little scary. This build takes like time to get used to. You have to face this kind of a build a few times before you really get comfortable defending it. But if we look at the supply again before the fight really happened there, this is the first time I attack his immortals. This is why we overpowered him. We just have a lot. I could have actually even taken another hatch here. But, we ended up not doing that. But it's just basically, just make shit. Just make things that can stall it out. Like, we made a couple spines because he was cannoning really close to my base. And there's no guarantee this is going to be immortals. So we made a couple spines just to be safe. And then we made three Ravagers. And you know what the Ravagers did? They depleted all of his shield batteries because I kept corrosive biling the cannons. So by the time the immortals really have to start fighting me, he has very little potential power to, like, heal his army up with shield batteries. And then we just keep making more. And then, as soon as we have a little bit of an extra gas bank now, because we have good saturation, our gas bank is built up a little bit. We can add it. We can add more Ravagers to our army, like add in 5 or 6 more. Because Ravagers are expensive. Each Ravager is equivalent to 100 gas. So mostly Lings that are queued up here that are just clumped up, and then Ravagers, and we're easy to go, easy peasy. But I'm gonna say one last thing because this is kind of complicated. It's a little complicated. This kind of a build makes StarCraft complicated. What happened here and what happened here? His proxy and my defense. This happened because he proxied outside of the range of my natural. That's it. That's the only thing. It happened outside of the range of my natural. If it was in my natural, it would have been a little different. And I don't really want to go through the whole explanation of that because it might happen again. We might deal with it sometime. But talking about a whole different setup when we just talked about this one might start confusing people. But just for this, if the guy proxies outside your base, this is a totally valid response of what we just did. Be greedy, get more, have a lot of Lings built up. You can even make a macro hatch in your main because you could because you have a lot of money. Because we're going mostly Lings off 2 base economy. And there you go. So yeah, that would be that. That's that. How are you microing your Ravagers? Check this out. If you're watching on my stream, go to the link I just put in chat. It'll explain everything. If you're watching on YouTube, go here. Twitch.tv/ViBE LOL. And when you're there in the chat bar, type this into my chat bar. But the bot in my channel will link you to a video that I just told everyone in chat to go to right now. And that explains everything. It explains how to make your Ravagers shoot like this. I'll show you. It explains how to make your Ravagers instead of shooting like this, where they go like this. Where it's 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by 1. Instead of doing that, you can do this. Where it all goes off like at the same time. It's called rapid fire. That's all it is. You just bind a key to it, and the video explains everything. To corrosive bile there, I'm literally holding 1 key on my keyboard down, and it just makes everything go. Just rapid shoot. 1. We're not GM yet. These games take a while. Because I'm always over-explaining a lot of stuff and making sure everyone understands what's going on. Can you rapid fire a larva? You can just hold a key down. You can if I have like 30 larvae and I want to make Zerglings and I just hold Z down, it will make all my Zerglings. Some people might not know that as well. I've actually seen some people when they play StarCraft, if they want to make like 20 lings or something like that, they'll be like Z, 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 and they'll keep hitting the key over and over. You can hold the key down and make your units with Zerg. For people who don't know that. If you hold the key down, what'll happen is the game will go, all right, we're going to spend as much larva as you have and as much money as you have, and we're going to figure out how far that goes if you just hold the key down. If you have 50 larva and you have enough minerals to make 50 lings, you can make 50 lings in a matter of about 1 second or 1.5 seconds if you just hold the key down for like 2 seconds. I keep raising the number, but it's not very long. It's pretty fast. And if you do your keyboard repeat delay, if you make that fast, it goes really fast. That's what I do. And again, rapid fire explains that. So I highly recommend anyone here right now that has no idea what we're talking about, go watch that rapid fire video. It's like 3 minutes or 5 minutes or something like that. Go watch that, and it'll give you, it might enlighten you, and with like some extra bonus helpful tips for StarCraft. All right. Helpful tips. Yeah. You know it. Helpful tips. Alright, so we're going speedlings this time. Speedling expand against another Zerg. Yo, thank you guys for watching the stream. We have over 1,000 viewers right now. This is pretty sweet. I'm glad you guys are liking the Bronze Gym stuff. It's actually awesome. Thanks for being here. It's been real. This journey, we're not even close to being done yet because Platinum and, or sorry, Diamond and Masters take a lot longer. So it's been awesome, guys. And I'm looking forward to spending the rest of the journey with you. Alright, so we scouted a Zerg who has a really late natural. Let's make a spine because this is really weird. Yo, the boss. Thank you for the prime, my dude. I think I just said that, but I don't care. I'm saying it again. Thank you. Much love, dude. Are we still doing the Roach build in ZVZ? I do it sometimes. I don't do it every game. Right now we're doing a defensive macro Ling build. See if I can spot something in his wall here. Maybe he's doing that build. Nope. Okay, we're gonna send 2 Lings to his base. Just 2 Lings, guys. And now we're gonna take a 3rd base, and we're also gonna take a queen because we've been making drones this entire time. So I've been very greedy. I've been very, very, very greedy. We're gonna go ahead and take, because notice I have 2 fully saturated mineral lines already. This is insanely fast. And now he's going to attack me. He's got Ling Bane. He's making a lot of Ling Bane. Keep scouting his base.
Oh.
He has like half the amount of drones that I do on my 3rd, or sorry, on my natural. But he has a really fast 3rd. That's the trade-off here. Is his 3rd is really, really fast. So I'm gonna send my Lings down now, and I'm gonna try and get him off my 3rd before he kills it. We can make a couple Banes right now in his face, right here. Now he's having the situation again where the Banelings are becoming a really annoying problem. Which is why a Baneling nest is so good if you want to be greedy. We can inject, we can inject.
Our forces are under attack.
Soon we can inject. Now we're making drones again. The reason why we're doing this is because the whole concept of what we're doing with our build is we just want to get our build to 3 base saturation as fast as possible. We want to get it there as quick as we can. Yo. Asho Kanto, thank you for the sub. Welcome, my dude. Okay, we're fully saturated on 2 bases, guys. Let's go ahead and send some lings around his base again. And now we're gonna get roach weapons on that. And we're still making drones for my 3rd. These lings are gonna tell me if I need to do something, like if I've been too greedy, I can be like, okay, let's make some spines or something like that. Or if it's like, okay, we can get away with what we have already and let's make roaches. Okay, he had Bane's kill it. So this time around, let's do it again, but let's watch it a bit closer this time. And we're gonna make 3 gas, 3 gas. We're pretty much there anyways now, we're full saturation. Let's go ahead and start making roaches. He's got 5 drones on the base. He's got very little drone count. So now, that puts me in a situation where I really should figure out what's going on in his main. Just to see, is this guy being really greedy? Or sorry, is he being really tech oriented, or is he just not being greedy enough? Those are the big things we want to look at. We're making roaches right now the whole time. What we're really looking for right now is to see if he's going mutas. If he's going mutas, we can still deal with it just fine as a roach warren. He's got it oversaturated natural, by the way. That's oversaturated by probably like 6 drones. There's too much wish-wash in that shit. He's going speed... that's not even speed bane. That's just speed roach. He's going for a roach timing. And he is making banelings with it. So this is super all-in. So against this is how we're going to micro it. You guys ready for some sweet moves here? Take all the banes out of my army. And now let's put my banes in an order here where they're all kind of like scattered instead of all in a clump. Move my roaches in first. Now the banes, they keep coming. We kind of scattered them out. We moved our banes in a way where it was like some banes are there, some banes are there, some banes are there, some banes are there. It wasn't just like all banes here. So I made the attack where a lot of his banes blow up. I still have more banes trickling in the whole time as the fight started. So we had more banes blowing up on his roaches after, which made us actually do very well in that fight. We had a good amount of roaches anyways, but the banes helped. The banes added extra damage because we used them in a good way. Now we can go ahead and take a Hydrodin, and we can honestly just go do a timing right now. Let's go hit his 3rd. There's 2 ways we can play this out. I'll play it the aggressive way this time. Number 1 is we could follow the rule of saying, all right, my opponent took a fight, he failed. Let's saturate a 4th base. We could totally do that right now because we have control of the game. Or we can continue to make units right now because we already have a good economy to max with, and we could say, all right, let's attack his 3rd and see what happens. If I feel like I have a good army here, I'll take the fight. And I think we have a good fight. I think our army is bigger than his, so we'll commit to it. And the final reason, I'm trying to really help you guys understand how I look at the game. The final reason why I said you can do this, and it is viable, there's plenty of players who play like this as well, but the reason why I chose to do this game, is because if you remember back, everything matters what we do in this game, but if you remember back to when we were running lings up and down his base, we're trying to run lings into his base. I had a fully saturated 3rd, and he had 5 drones on his. He only had 5. So what that told me was, I'm already at full saturation, and he's not, which means, and he's also, we confirmed it with an overseer. We didn't see, oh, he's going mutas. He was making roaches. So he was doing a roach build. He wasn't as efficient as we were. And because of that, if he tries to make drones now, he'll never have enough roaches to stop us. He'll just have a super poor army. And that concept is escalated because of the fact that from the time I saw that he had less drones than me to the time I finally attacked him was like 2.5 to 3 minutes. So that's a lot of time that I've mined more than him. And number 2 is he just failed the timing as well on my base. He just threw away an army. So it increases my lead even more. So I went, all right, well, that's a lot of compounded leads here that go together. Let's just see if we can kill him. And we did. And we did. Did anything change about how you deal with carriers? The way I used to deal with carriers can still be applied to today, like now. You can still deal with carriers the same way as you used to. And you'll be totally fine. Like, Carapace Corruptors will destroy carriers, even more than they used to, because the carriers got nerfed a tad. Carriers got nerfed. Do, 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 do. How many drones do you want to get if you max? You get max if you go for macro. It depends on the game. Basically, you want to stay one base ahead of your economy, or of your opponent's economy, at least. If you're going for full macro, like full on, you're just going to max out attack, max out attack, max out attack. You want to go to about 80 drones. Right around 80. Like 80, 85 drones. If we're talking like high level play. If you can be 80 to 85 drones and you're maxing out and smashing your opponent over and over, that's very scary. That's a very scary Zerg. But if your opponent is like, let's say he's 2 base LNing you, and you at this point in the game, you haven't really truly killed his entire army, but you have killed some of it. Like you've weakened it here and there. But he's still 2 base LNing you the whole time with like Charge Lot Immortal Sentry or something like that, Stalker. I would not be like, go to 80 drones. I'd be like, you might want to stop around like 65, 60. Because if you go to 80 drones, you're just going to die. Like, you have to just know your positioning here. The best way to explain this in a way that hopefully everyone can understand is you can safely take 1 base ahead of your opponent in an average game. In most games, on average, you can safely, as Zerg, saturate 1 base ahead of your opponent without anything happening in the game yet. But you cannot take more than that until your opponent throws away an army. Safely. If you try to saturate like 4 bases and your opponent's doing a 2 base all-in, 95% chance that you die. You have a very high chance of dying at that point. Because you're like, you haven't really, you're just like, you're investing way too much into economy that's not going to kick in time, and you're going to die before that happens. And you just won't have enough of an army to actually survive. Alright, anyways, we're going for a Ling build, guys. What's up, Kevin? 1 base, make spawning pool, make Ling, win game. There you go. That's StarCraft for dummies right there. Alright, so this guy's gone standard. Nexus, gate, core. Very, very standard. We're going to take a 3rd base. 3rd base is usually started around like 30-ish supply. You can send your drone over here, and you can afford to take a 3rd base without really disrupting your build too much. Oh my god, he's got a probe here. Alright, cool. We poked it with a drone, and he actually got out of the way. Thank god. Alright, so he's got a pylon. 2nd pylon. Next to the Nexus. Actually, that's like I think it's, yeah, that's the 3rd pylon probably. So a pylon here. This might be tech in a second here. Let's go back to the front of his base with our Overlord. If Overlord dies, it's also not a big deal, by the way. I'm totally okay with sacrificing my first Overlord, which is why I don't care that I'm scouting around his base like this. Okay, we see a Stargate. Stargate, guys. Here's a good response to a Stargate. Let's go ahead and make like a little bit of Lings right now. Right now we're making a good like 12 Lings, and then we're done. No more. You could Bane Bust, but here's the thing. I took my drones off gas already. So if I said, I'm going to Bane Bust him now, it's going to be very weak. A very, very weak Bane Bust. Because my build is not designed to do that right now, because we're designed for greed. This is a greed opener.
1K viewers.
What's up, Johnny? 1K, baby! How you doing, dude? Thank you for the bits. We can poke his base, see what happens. Maybe we do some serious damage right now. It's just a test, just to see what can happen. Behind this, we're getting melee. Okay, cool. He's probably like, why the fuck is this Nexus not walling? This is already kind of game-ending damage right now. If we're behind this, we can go Spore, Spore, Spore. And because we're doing damage now, this is when I would say you are safe and comfortable to saturate another base. I can 100% saturate my entire third and possibly my fourth a little bit. Especially if I run my lings around his base like this, it'd be really, really, really annoying. Big thing though is we're trying not to fall behind on our macro right now, guys. That's the biggest thing of all. Don't fall behind on macro. Now we're fully saturated on 3 bases. We can keep making drones for now. We can keep harassing his base with lings for now. Okay, we can run away from that and go to his natural. He just transferred probes back there. We saw it. So it can be really annoying again. Now let's just forget about the lings. The game's over. But from there, I would have just been like, alright, fuck it. Lings are just gonna, they're doing even more damage. I'm putting him even further behind. But what we could do from right now, okay? This is what we can do. If the game does not end right now, what we could do is we could go into a layer. We could go into 1 or 2 Evo chambers if we're feeling greedy. We could get gas, fully saturated main still, but gas. Saturate everything. 66 drones on main natural third. All gases, all mineral lines saturated on my 3 bases. And depending on how, and then after that, we could make some more lings. We could make like another 20 lings or some shit just to be here, just in case this guy makes like 2 adepts and goes, all right, let's run across the map. How many lings was that? I won the game with 12 lings. It was just 12 Zerglings, and 6 of them are still alive. But it's because he didn't wall properly. But after that, after having 3 bases fully saturated, we have multiple options. We can say, all right, we have a huge lead because at the very least, okay, at the very least, we are 1 base ahead of my opponent. Because if he fully saturates his natural, we're still fully saturated on main natural third, so we have a base up. We can go into Ling Bane Hydra, do a timing, and probably kill him. Yeah, Mr. Q, thank you very much for another 5. Another 5 gifted subs. Thank you very much, dude. Fucking love you. Mr. Q.
Oh, yeah.
Or, guys, you have more options than this. That's the more aggressive side. If you're just wanting to like see where you can go with that, that's fine. The other option would be we could make a little bit of lings, like again, like 20 lings or something, just in case we get attacked by something small, and saturate this base while still also going Ling Bane Hydra. We can saturate this base fully and have 4 base saturation if we feel confident enough that we can get away with it by not only having 1 bonus base over Protoss, but having 2. And I feel like this game we could get away with it because we have severely ruined this guy's day with these lings. Because if you look at this, look at the units tab. He's got 4 zealots currently, and he has 22 probes. 4 zealots are not going to do anything if they walk across the map, especially if they're not upgraded at all. I could make 1 round of lings and kill it, be just fine. So I felt very safe that I could defend myself with like a spore per base with 1 queen, and I could actually get away with this, with going for a 4th hatchery saturated. But I would not feel confident that I could do that if I did not break in his natural and do damage like this and disrupt him. So yeah, that's kind of how you should look at the game. Try to think about it and understand what you can get away with as Zerg. Not unrealistic things. Not be like, I'm just going to make drones and whatever happens, happens.
Oh, yeah.
Diamond 2. Diamond 2, guys. Diamond 2.